んだ。初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにガチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君はまだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ万歳ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランドトゥライドまで
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてるね。この世界季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだと大きにまたグレートになるかも。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコを掴んでいいさ。そう。やらせるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Monday night. Lot to discuss, lot going on as per usual. And of course, I'm happy to see all of you. WTF No Advanced. I got to change it up a little bit here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to change it up a little bit. For me, I tend to not do the same thing over and over again. I don't wear the same hat. I don't wear the same hoodie. I don't have the same intro. I don't say the same things. You know, I change things up because that's how I'll roll around here. Okay. I don't make up the rules. I just have to follow them. Okay. So there you have it. I've been avoiding the kidnapping topic all day to get it straight from Jeremy. Look at there. Breaking Guthrie fans are in the chat right now because they want to know what's going on in the latest episode of Breaking Guthrie. We will get into that. We also have a horrific situation in Rhode Island with a man that is mentally ill. And that is the only way to address people like this. There's no like buying into their, crazy illusions. It is a mentally ill man that has committed a horrible, horrible crime. And it's as simple as that. Mentally ill. And it's pretty crazy. So, and I really, if we get time, and even if we don't get time to react to the whole thing, like that Marco Rubio speech from a couple of days ago I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but oh my goodness. You want to talk about the future being bright with JD Vance and Marco Rubio. And of course, I'm still not convinced Trump doesn't run in 2028. I am absolutely excited about all of that, but that speech was next freaking level. It was unreal. Marmillan for 10 says pre-stream grift tax, chat grift tax. Let's freaking go. My favorite tax right there. Outside of my channel being under a tax. Stormbreaker says all hail Cobra Commander Jeremy and King Trump. King Trump 2028. This I command. Yes, RIP Robert Duvall, one of the greats, one of the all-time greats, died at 95 years old. 95. Lord Bothus says, I asked my wife what day it was. She said, it's a day that ends in Y. And that's when I remembered. It's CobraCast Day. Here it is. Let's go. That's what's up. Little Jim Salo says, these Islamist, I think they change our culture on dogs. Fuck off. First, they'll try it in New York, then the rest of the country. I love my pets. Well, Marco Rubio's speech got into a lot of that in a general way and more specific ways as well. Keenan says, remember in Breaking Bad when Walter sees that sharp piece of broken plate is missing? Oh, yeah, that's early on, man. That was very early on. Karang says, love your live streams from a fan in Hawaii. Let's freaking go. Thank you so much. I love hearing where you guys are from. It makes me feel good. People all over the world. I do want to go to Hawaii. Can I drive? I could drive, right? Yeah, it's in America, so I shouldn't have a problem driving. So yeah, I can't wait to drive to Hawaii. It'll be a lot of fun. Pin drop says a Cobra a tax. What do you mean I can't drive? Drive a boat. Drive a boat. Yes, there it is. Drive a boat. You can take the interstate. That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait. I can't wait. Sir, another letter has hit TMZ. Sadly, yes. Dude, we've got a ton of updates on this stupid story, and we will get into that here in just a minute. We're not going to do it yet. Get one of those boats with wheels. Hey, I like that. Maui was awesome, says Bruce. You sail a boat. I'll drive the boat. You can sail it. I'll drive it. Okay. Oh my God. Did somebody else send super chat so I can ignore that one? I don't want to read that. I don't even want to read it. Why is Jeremy snorting like DSP? Apparently it gets you super chats, so I'm going to try that. That was my theory. You didn't have to call me out on it, but I mean, my theory tonight was if I do a lot of snorting, I'll get a lot of super chats because you guys, I mean, I'm giving you the content. I'm here. I'm giving you the content. I'm reporting the news, and you guys just aren't donating enough. You guys aren't sending enough money. I'm sitting here. I'm talking to you. I'm telling you what's going on, and you guys clearly don't want to donate. No one's seeing any donations. Trans girly for 10 says, if I'm mentally ill, imagine how crazy my brain is with this smiley face. Sometimes I regret doing this. I do. So yeah. Peter Constable with 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Doug Diggs says, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Redward Corey says, I'm too poor to send super chats. That's okay. You don't ever have to send me a super chat, ever. You can watch this show for free for the rest of your life. You don't owe me anything. You can watch for free forever. Ministry of Wrong Things says, dude, the Obama Epstein connection story is wild. Benny made a video on it. Maybe we'll have to check that one out. I have not seen that one. Peter says, Hail 199 gifted memberships because America 250. Let's go. Dark Gavel says, Vance Trump 2028, Vance Rubio 2032. Vault 199 says, spending my last $2 on CobraCast instead of buying nuggets. Okay, this is where we draw the line on sending super chats. If your last $2 is between sending me a super chat and getting nuggets, you get nuggets, okay? 100%. That's not even a debate. You always go with the chicken nuggets. Always. But I do appreciate you thinking of me, but always go with the nuggets. Darth Fiend says, did you see Gary on Piers with the why are you gay guy? Oh, yeah, that was weeks ago, right? That was a few weeks ago, or over a month ago, I think now, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what you guys are talking about with this Benny Johnson video. I have not seen, so I got to pull this up. So Benny Johnson, good old Benny. Where is this? All right, this video you were talking about. What's the title of it? The true story. Oh, I got that one. I don't see a video you're talking about with Epstein and. Am I missing it? I don't know. Somebody will have to send that one to me. Nips Litter says, I'm trying to think of something worth saying. Well, you just said it. I don't see this video you're talking about. I will say that there's this big controversy going on right now with Michael Jordan. I'm not sure how many of you saw this. So yesterday was the Daytona 500. It's the first NASCAR race I have watched in a long time. I watched almost the entire Daytona 500. NASCAR's turned it around a little bit. It's nowhere near what it used to be, but I was interested because of Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. I like Ryan Blaney. I like Chase Elliott. There's some drivers I'm interested in. Okay. Now, with that said, Michael Jordan is a team owner in NASCAR, and his team, one of his cars that he owns, won the race. Now, during the celebration in Victory Lane, there's a weird clip of Michael Jordan going around, and I will fully admit that I don't know how to defend it because it's very strange. I think that there is more context that is going to have to be added to this, but it's very weird. Taker for 10 says, for just $19.99 a month, you can sponsor a streamer at St. Jeremy's Hospital for Grifters. Sure, they're not much to look at, but maybe one day their dreams can come true, but probably not. Okay, well, before we get into this video we're talking about, you said they're not much to look at. Excuse me. What about that picture of me, apparently? What about that picture of me? You say not much to look at. What about this picture of me? Okay? Just saying. What now? I bet that gets the super chats rolling in, boys. What's up? I bet that one gets it rolling in. So next time, let's not make any comments about I'm not much to look at. We know that you're here because you want me to be easy on the eyes for you. Okay, we are aware of this. I've already said I would appreciate it if you guys would be a little more respectable and not talk about my looks, which I get it. I do understand, but it's not, shouldn't be doing that. So it's always the crazy eyes. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pull up, oh my gosh, Benny's video on this, because the reason I thought about talking about the Michael Jordan story was because Benny Johnson has a video. This is the opening of the video that Benny has made right here. Let's get into this story surrounding Michael Jordan at the Daytona 500. It is a strange story, but I believe that there is more context to add to it.
That's got to be a 50 ball. He took off just a little inside that free throw line, one hand and double clutching.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. I want to be like Mike is the advertising slogan that I grew up with, but after seeing some viral videos on the internet and reading the Epstein files, I'm not exactly sure about that. Michael Jordan, a champion in multiple sports now. His NASCAR team won the Daytona 500 championship. Michael Jordan is ecstatic. You can see him obviously quite emotional here as the race concludes. Michael Jordan going ham, right? Thrilled, crying with the trophy, sobbing, weeping, holding it. Kind of like old times, right? There you go. MJ, this is his team. Obviously, there's champion.
And there are some theories out there, and I saw someone mention one of those theories. So we're gonna get into all the theories that's out there. Nandy for 50 says, great. Now because of the subreddit, I will only see Geika, not Kika, in my dreams. I didn't know where you were going with that at first, but I fully understand now. Where are you going with this one, Nandy? Where are you going with this? Thank you, Nandy. Hail to you, brother.
Champion, once a champion, always a champion. Michael Jordan saying that he's so ecstatic, he feels like he won another championship.
By the team, and we gave ourselves a chance at the end. And look, I'm ecstatic.
No, Jordan does not race. He is a team owner in NASCAR. He owns a NASCAR team, and they have, I believe, 4 different cars that were in the Daytona 500. He has 4 individual teams within his company, but he is a team owner. He's been a NASCAR. He's a lifelong NASCAR fan. He has been a NASCAR fan forever. He has been involved in NASCAR for a long time. Shockingly, not a lot of people know this.
I don't even know what to say. It feels like I won a championship, but until I get my ring, I won't even know.
All right, what size ring do you wear? Did you tell
Size 13.
All right. Well, the guy has plenty of rings. Okay. Well, very good. But there is a disturbing piece of footage that has now surfaced after this celebration where Michael Jordan is ringing in the championship in a very peculiar way. Michael Jordan here with a young child. You hate to even say this, right?
For context, from what I understand, this is the son of the driver that won the race. So this is someone that Michael Jordan knows very well, knows the family very well. So that's the context there.
But I don't know, behaving strangely. Let's just go ahead and watch. Michael Jordan pinching and patting and petting the young kid. The young kid tries to swat away his hand. I don't know. I mean, it's a little weird. Hopefully he knows the child. Does that make it any better? Is it his child? It is not. We checked. Seems odd. Certainly something that would merit further investigation.
Now, there are some theories on this. And again, as somebody who has known of Michael Jordan pretty much my entire life, it's definitely it's a strange kind of moment that was caught on camera. Now, there are theories out there about what this could and couldn't be. Now, you have to understand that this is in Victory Lane. This is in the celebration of the Daytona 500, which is essentially the Super Bowl of NASCAR. This is the biggest win by far of the year. And so you've got some people that I saw this clip right here. Right here. Here we go.
Tyler Reddick's son had a chunk of ice. You can see that Tyler Reddick's son's shirt is completely saturated, and Michael Jordan trying to help a little kid out. Let me get those chunks of ice out of your back.
It initially looks shocking, and I think there's a reasonable explanation for it.
Yeah,
it looks like he's trying to get stuff out of his shirt and pants.
I think that's exactly.
It's shocking the first time you see it.
It
Like,
it looked shocking. Please do your due diligence and realize that it was chunks of ice that.
So the theory here is a lot of people are running with it. He was grabbing the kid's butt. I don't see him I see him grabbing the bottom of the shirt. That's what I've always saw. The internet has decided that Michael Jordan was grabbing his butt. That never dawned on me until the internet said that he was grabbing the kid's butt. I saw him grabbing the bottom of a shirt. It did not look like he was grabbing the kid there. But let's watch it one more time.
Tyler Reddick's son had a chunk of ice. You can see that Tyler Reddick's son's shirt is completely saturated, and Michael Jordan trying to help a little kid out. Let me get those chunks of ice out of your back.
It initially looks shocking, and I think there's a reasonable explanation for it.
Yeah,
it looks like he's trying to get stuff out of his shirt and pants.
I think that's exactly.
It's shocking the first time you see it.
It
Like,
looked shocking.
Well, to be clear, it's shocking when you see people headlining it, rewiring your brain to make you think that it is the thing that would be horrifying, because that's what happens on social media. But like when I'm seeing it, because I didn't read a headline when I saw the clip, they're like, what is this video of Michael Jordan? And I was like, it looks like he's grabbing the kid's shirt. And yeah, kid, it looks weird. Okay, this does look weird. Okay. And then you start seeing the social media going crazy and all of this. And you're like, okay, this is kind of weird. The angle is kind of strange. And it's like, how do you defend this? Because I don't know the full context. And so I'm starting to let social media determine Well, hold on. And I'll go back to my original thought that it looks like he's grabbing the bottom of the kid's shirt.
Please do your due diligence and realize that it was chunks of ice that were in the kid's back area by his waistline of his shorts.
Now, that theory does line up with what happens in, Victory Lane. Now, you also have to understand that there was no expectation of Jordan's team winning this, especially Tyler Reddick. No, it was a crazy fucking finish. So the celebration was out of control. It was crazy. So there's a lot of celebration. There's dumping of Gatorade and all of that shit, whatever. So let's finish this and then we'll go back to it.
And Michael Jordan was not grabbing his ass. He was grabbing the cubes of ice to try to break them up and make them fall down. And they fell down on his legs and he wiped them off his legs. None of us are doing it just because we all love Michael Jordan, which we all do.
He wasn't in the Epstein files.
No, he was not.
I mean,
he was not.
This was a thing.
And that's the thing too, is when I saw it, I didn't think about ice. I didn't even think about his shirt being wet, which it clearly is. I just was like, why is he grabbing the bottom of the kid's shirt? It really doesn't make any sense. I can't understand this. Now, with that said, I'm not willing to die on the hill that Michael Jordan is a completely innocent human being. I'm just telling you, like, based on this right here, I don't think that one of the most famous human beings in the world at his age that has accomplished as much as he's accomplished, if in fact he was this person that was doing things like this over the decades, I don't think he's going to be on national television in the victory lane of Daytona after winning the biggest race of the year doing that. It just doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. It makes literally no sense for that to happen. And that's where I have to bring common sense into it. I have to bring common sense in this to go, let me look at this from a common sense standpoint. Now, if this would have been on a beach in Mexico and the paparazzi had filmed it secretly, then I'm going to be like, what is going on right here? But in Victory Lane of Daytona, the Super Bowl of NASCAR, when you have cameras everywhere, one of the most famous human beings on the planet who has been that famous since the mid-'80s. You're telling me this guy is just going to be like, let me just grab this kid. It just try to take common sense into it. And a common sense standpoint, that's my view on it. Like I said, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. And the media tried for a long time to maybe give this impression that Michael Jordan was a great guy. I'm here to tell you, Michael Jordan is not a great guy. He's not really a great guy. Michael Jordan is an absolute psychotic competitor. Michael Jordan was not very popular with his teammates. He was not very popular with a lot of people because he was a fucking killer on the court. All right? And I mean a legit killer. And I mean that in the context of the sport. He was not a nice person to be a teammate of, but if you wanted to be successful and if you wanted to be elevated and if you wanted to be part of greatness and if you could withstand being in that environment, he was going to take you there. Okay? So I'm not sitting here telling you like Michael Jordan's a great guy and he's a swell person. There's nearly no evidence of that. He is the greatest of all time, though. Yes, Kobe had the same mindset. So while the internet has gone crazy over this, I like to step back and go, what is really going on here? And let me think about this from a rational standpoint. But I got to say, at first, seeing the social media headlines, seeing people replaying it, and I'm just like, this is why social media is so, like, if you don't understand how to control it, it can just rewire your brain and make you see shit that that's not even there. Because subconsciously you're reading that headline and you're seeing that and you're like, this looks weird. This looks really bad. Ooh, what's going on here? Without any context of anything, this looks terrible. Add context to it, add common sense to it. I don't think that it's anything to be concerned about personally. So we'll leave it there for that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go through Benny's video and his full breakdown, you can do that. But I wanted to kind of set the table there. Go to that clip. That's where I'm at on it. But the memes will be crazy in reference to Jordan for sure. Everyone is on high alert for PDFs. I mean, yes, but that's also an internet problem where people are just like willing to call anybody. Like, again, it's kind of like the left calling everybody a Nazi. The right calls everybody a PDF file. It's like, if everybody is a Nazi, nobody's a Nazi. If everybody is this horrific thing that should have you eliminated from this planet if you're ever caught doing it. But if we're just going to just start labeling everybody that we don't like that, then it's already starting to lose its meaning. It's already starting to lose its meaning because so many people just label anybody they don't like that. And it's like, dude, do we understand? This is the worst thing that a human being can do outside of murder, which I honestly think doing things to kids is worse than murder. To be honest with you, it just takes such a demonic, evil piece of human garbage to do that. Like, to me, it's the most evil thing there is, period. And we're just casually just like, yeah, so-and-so's this, so-and-so's that, so-and-so's that. And it's like, okay, really? Is this what we're doing? Come on, man. But anyway, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Breaking Guthrie. Oh yeah, it's time for Breaking Guthrie. Are you ready? Are you ready? Because we have new updates. That's right. We do have new updates. And just when you think this shit can't get more ridiculous, do you know what? It gets more ridiculous. Yeah, it definitely does. Because where do we want to start with the chaos? This is such a stupid story. It really is. And the more that happens, the more I just find it to be laughable. Let's start out with this wonderful news right here. Nancy Guthrie's family cleared of kidnapping investigation on day 16. This is from the sheriff in Pima County. So they haven't found her. They have no idea where she's at. They have no idea who took her, but they're willing to clear the family. What?
Days into this investigation, the Pima County Sheriff this afternoon is officially clearing the Guthrie family of all suspicion. Very important development. We just got it a few minutes ago. Police hope DNA testing as well on gloves may deliver authorities, a name, date of birth, address on a possible suspect tied to Nancy's disappearance. At least that is the hope today. But on that news, our senior national correspondent, Brian Enton, is back reporting live from Tucson. So there you go. The sheriff clears the family, Brian.
Yeah, we just got this state.
I'm not a law enforcement expert. I'm a retard on the internet. And I don't understand this. You have no leads. You have no suspects. You have no idea where this woman's at. And the last person that saw her was the son-in-law, I believe. And yet, family clear, apparently.
Statement in Connell within just the last couple of minutes. So let me read you the full statement because it's quite descriptive here. We haven't heard the sheriff go this far before on this topic, and we've asked him about it before. But this is from Sheriff Nanos, the Pima County Sheriff. He says, to be clear, The Guthrie family, to include all siblings and spouses, has been cleared as possible suspects in this case. The family has been nothing but cooperative and gracious and are victims in this case. To suggest otherwise is not only wrong, it is cruel. The Guthrie family are victims, plain and simple. Please, I am begging you, the media, to honor your profession and report with some sense of compassion and professionalism. So it doesn't appear he's leaving any wiggle room here, Connell.
So not only is he clearing the entire family of any wrongdoing, he's actively lobbying for the media to stop being mean. I'm sure the internet's going to respond in kind. I'm sure the internet's going to be like, oh, the sheriff, the sheriff that shut down the crime scene, then opened it back up, allowing anybody to go into it, and then shut it down again. Apparently, he wants us to stop speculating on who may have taken Nancy and had something to do with her disappearance, namely the people that had direct contact with her the night she went missing.
Saying that they have been cleared as possible suspects, including all siblings and spouses. So it's a pretty big development because, again, we've asked about this before at press conferences, and he sort of alluded to this, but then other times has said, look, no one's been cleared.
Loser Alter Ego said everyone is covering this. Where did it at? Everyone covers this old turtle for 15 days. When are we going to talk about all the missing kids in Arizona, the legal and illegal children that go missing? Well, Loser Alter Ego, I spent about 30 minutes last night covering a story about Tim Tebow talking about America being the #1 ranked country with illegal child, you know what, and live streaming of these children and all of the stuff that goes on. Did you happen to mention that, dumb fuck? No, you dumb fuck. You're going to come in here because I'm talking about a story you don't like. Does any of your other fucking podcasters covering Tim Tebow and all of that? No, I'm the only one doing it. But you're in here crying. Shut the fuck up.
Cleared. Everybody's a person of interest at this point, but now he is going as far as to say that everyone in the family has been cleared. Connell?
All right, that's really interesting, and it adds, or it's in concert with the kind of DNA testing that we're still waiting on, right? The gloves and everything else.
It is, and you have to imagine that everybody probably in the family and in the inner circle at this point has been DNA swabbed, and I say that because remember, they found DNA in Nancy's house, and they have said that it's not Nancy's and it's not anyone in the family or anyone in her inner circle, which would mean that they have everybody's DNA. So I think DNA is the big factor here that we're going to have to keep an eye on in the next 24 to 48 hours because we've got the DNA from the glove that they're looking into.
All right, I got to give gifted memberships now. I called out Loser Alter Ego incorrectly. Now I got to give gifted memberships. Fuck. Here we go. Hang on. Give me a minute. Working on it. Sorry, Loser Alter Ego. I apologize. All right, here we go. All right. Here we go. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. 10 gifted memberships from Loser Alter Ego. Thank you, Loser Alter Ego, with 10 gifted memberships. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Am I frozen now? Am I still frozen? As long as you can hear me, it doesn't matter. You're not here for my looks anyway. Good job, Loser Alter Ego. It says, fuck yeah, I do what I can. Holy shit. What a perfect response. Can I highlight your comment? He says, fuck yeah, I do what I can. Anyway, thank you, Loser Alter Ego. I appreciate it, man. Jeremy is on his peer read.
And then we've got all these swabs that are happening, not just with the family and friends, but you'd have to imagine these people that they've been.
Laughing Man says, I'm here because Jeremy is cute. You know what? You've sent $500 a few times. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Questioning are also being swabbed. So that's how they're going to start cross-referencing here and try to figure out who they're going to remain interested in, Connell.
All right, Brian, we'll be back to you live in Tucson.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, so we have that. So the family is completely clear. So we really have nothing else to update you on. Except, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? TMZ has received a fourth Nancy Guthrie note. And Harvey Levin says, my message to the sender. So dramatic. TMZ taking such a big opportunity. My message to the sender. So TMZ gets another letter about Nancy Guthrie. Oh, yeah.
Monday morning, we have received a fourth letter from the same person who says that he knows where Nancy Guthrie is and he wants money in return for the information. Essentially, he wants the reward. So I have something to say to you. And I've already talked to the FBI about this, that if you are not real, you're committing a crime, and you should know that. And this is a serious federal crime. If you are real, this is the fourth letter you've sent, and I should tell everybody that in this letter, it says, I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up, so I know who he is, and that was definitely Nancy with them. This is the second time he has referred.
I don't buy this at all. I don't buy any of this being legit. Not even remotely close. Not even remotely close. Luis sent a 10 and says, this grifter apologized to the chat by giving the memberships to his channel. Outstanding. And then Luis dropped 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Hail to you.
To more than one person involved in this. He said there is a main person and there are others, and he said it here. He is saying that Nancy was taken to Mexico. Now, this is what he's saying. I'm not going to vouch for him, but this is the fourth letter. We have sent them all on to the FBI. And he also says one of the reasons he's worried about coming forward is he has a record. He has a burglary on his record from 10 years ago. So I don't know if you're real or not, if you're watching this, but if you are, and I have told the FBI that we're going to do this, they know this, that if you're worried about getting this money,
this is such a TV
and
show.
You really
this
do
is
have this
such a TV
information,
show.
Send it to us. You're sending us these letters. Send it to us. We will forward it to the FBI. And that way there's a record that we have that you supplied this information. If they find her and they find the kidnapper, then at least there is evidence, because we have it, that you're the one who provided the information. So this is a way for you to get that money if this really is legitimate. Send us.
This is like, I so much of a TV show that, and I don't even think they're trying to hide it at this point, because that's all this is a TV show, and they're using it as a TV show. Is this an episode of Breaking Guthrie? Yes, it is. This is the latest episode of Breaking Guthrie. The developments in today's episode are that the sheriff has decided that no one in the Guthrie family is a suspect. 0. Even though they don't know anything about where Nancy is, the sheriff, the incompetent sheriff has decided, we don't know anything, but we know that they're not suspects. Nobody. And now we've got a fourth letter that TMZ has received.
The information, we will pass it on to the FBI. Okay, that said, couple of points. One is the glove. I hope that glove has DNA that leads authorities to this kidnapper. But it is weird to me because if somebody is at that house and they take Nancy and they get in a car to drive off, the first thing they're going to do is take the gloves off because it's real hard to drive with gloves like that. And if the gloves go off and they're placed in the car, how does it end up 2 miles away on the side of the road? It just is weird. It just is OJ-esque and doesn't make sense. And the other thing is that, you know, there are different theories here about, was this a burglary? Was this a ransom? As you know, we and several others have received ransom notes, and the FBI is keenly interested in these notes. I can tell you that. This seems a weird type of burglary because if it were a burglary, number one, why would somebody be dressed head to toe that way? And number two, if it's a burglary and somebody wants to go in and root around for jewelry or whatever, it would seem to be difficult opening drawers and grabbing things with gloves like that. And if you take the gloves off, then you're going to put your fingerprints on something. So what's the point of gloves in the first place? So this does not feel like a burglary. Somebody dressed head to toe with gloves.
Now, what's interesting about that is yesterday we had this woman right here reporting that it was believed to be a burglary. This was yesterday, okay?
Hi, guys. We are now able to independently confirm some new information in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. This is from an inside source that is now reportable. I want to take you through the new information we've learned. We can now report investigators now believe this was a burglary gone wrong. We've interviewed multiple experts since this began who also said, based on the evidence, the surveillance video, and other aspects of this case, that they also believed this was not an intended kidnapping. As for Friday night's operations, law enforcement activity, we can now report from our inside source that DNA evidence is currently being tested that was found from that Range Rover at the scene outside Culver's. You could see when investigators were there, they put up a tarp that they were doing.
Jason said, would a lot. All right, now that's a good answer right there.
Doing some sort of investigative work there. And last, but probably most important, the widespread belief by investigators tonight is that Nancy Guthrie could be alive. We'll keep you up to date as we learn more. We are working on many things behind the scenes, but again, tonight, big updates. They believe this was a burglary gone wrong. DNA evidence is being tested from the Range Rover, and the widespread belief by investigators is that Nancy Guthrie could be alive. Stick with us. We'll bring you the very latest as we learn more.
Now, that was yesterday. However, apparently that's not true. Okay? This is the stupidest case in history. So now they've backtracked on this idea that it's a burglary. They're like, no, it's not. No one said that. What?
That's all she says inside. There's a local reporter who works for Arizona Family named Brianna Whitney, who reported that, quote, we can now confirm through an inside source. That's all she says, inside source. Investigators believe Nancy Guthrie abduction was intended burglary, and DNA evidence is currently being tested from the Range Rover that was seen being towed away on Friday. The Range Rover being towed away on Friday is a reference to that Friday night raid. This happened late into the evening Friday, where the feds executed a search warrant on a home.
Where'd they find
with a female and a male, believed to be mother, son, and then also stopped a Range Rover, a dark gray Range Rover, described by some as silver though, which we believe he was also connected to the people who were inside that house. It's unconfirmed. That's our understanding though. And it seems that they may have had a lead directing them to one member of this family, and then, covered the field with a search warrant on somebody driving the car, and then a mother, son, we believe, again, pair inside the home, and they searched the home. No arrests were made. And that's still being investigated, but doesn't look like, at least on first glance, they found their man. And they don't think they found their man. But what she's reporting, this Brianna Whitney, is that DNA evidence is currently being tested from that Range Rover that was seen being towed away on Friday. Okay, so that's still an open question. But the part about we can now confirm through an inside source that investigators believe the Guthrie abduction was an intended burglary. To say it's gotten pushback would be to undermine.
So now that report, they are now pushing back against that. And again, if this was like isolated, or if this was like one thing that they push back on, or if it was a couple of issues here, every single thing about this case has been a complete disaster. Every single thing.
And what's actually happened now, both Michael Ruiz of Fox News Digital and Matt Finn of Fox News and my own sourcing has all said that's not the case. Here's Michael Ruiz. Authorities are distancing themselves from fresh reporting suggesting the Guthrie abduction is believed to be a burglary gone wrong, and that the widespread investigative belief, Brianna also reported this, is that Nancy, quote, could be alive. So they're distancing themselves from that. A local law enforcement source tells me this is not the working theory inside the unit, and adds that nighttime residential burglaries are rare. Sheriff Nanos also spoke with Matt Finn of FNC, quote, did not come from us, no idea. And even though that is one of many possibilities, we would never speculate such a thing. We will let the evidence take us to motive.
Again, I'm not law enforcement. Never have, never will be. I am not trained for any of that. I am a retard on the internet. However, they say that they would never speculate on that. But the sheriff just point blank told the world that none of the family are suspects. I'm just asking questions here, but wouldn't that hurt the investigation by telling the person that did it that we've already eliminated the family? Why would you publicize that you've eliminated the family when you have someone that's out there that you need to find? Shouldn't you just make them think that you're still investigating all possible circumstances? But when you start eliminating suspects publicly, you're telling the people that have her, and this is all hypothetically, but you're telling the people, we're closing in on you. You should not be making that publicized at all. You should never publicly go, hey, all of these people that are the most likely to be at least questioned, we're eliminating all of them as suspects. Now, we don't know where she's at. We don't know who took her. We have no leads. We have literally nothing. But we've eliminated, 10 people that are closest linked to her. It doesn't make sense. But yet you're going to say as law enforcement, we're not going to speculate on anything like that. Fucking idiots.
No suspects have been publicly identified. As you know, the FBI is currently awaiting additional test results on a glove. I'll get to that in a second. Then Matt Finn reporting, the FBI tells me it has no clue where that came from, that they are leaning toward this being a burglary gone bad. So the FBI is pushing back on this with two sources at Fox. I've also gotten pushback on this with my own sources connected to the case. I don't know this reporter, Brianna. She's been good so far, but everybody gets things wrong in the course of an investigation.
Well, Megan, I'm just going to let you know that my chat is a very, very big fan of her. They approve of her, Megan. Chat really likes this reporter right here. They like her a lot. I just wanted Megyn Kelly to know that.
When we're trying to work our sources and get a lead, as she describes hers source, it's just inside source. Don't know what that means, but I think the two reporters at Fox and yours truly all have law enforcement sources, all of whom have told us that's not the case. So I would take that with a hefty grain of salt that they're now looking at this as some sort of burglary gone bad. The other big reported news yesterday came out of NBC and
who said it? RND Hoodie says, I'm okay with her getting huge details wrong. I'm okay with her getting huge details wrong. That's great.
Tom Winter, who reported that authorities are leaning away from the Friday night guy. Again, this is the theory that there's one guy who was suspected, and we don't know why. Maybe it was cell phone tower data that he was near Nancy on the night in question. Maybe it was a tip that was called in. Maybe he looked like the porch man. Maybe he looked like one of the other men that we saw on people's porches last week via Ring video. But something led them to this one man, and it appears his family around.
A lot of people are talking about Megyn Kelly's backdrop here. So, like, I don't think that this is her home setup at all. I think she's probably in an Airbnb. That would be my theory on this. I don't think this is her house at all. I think this is an Airbnb. That would be my guess.
Him. And NBC's Tom Winter reporting that the officials are leaning away from that guy, away from Carlos, poor Carlos,
Jeremy.
the DoorDash man, who I thought we'd already ruled him out, but he's reporting that indeed they are leaning away.
Green screen?
And he also
Might be a
added
green
that they are
screen, yeah.
leaning away from relatives of Nancy Guthrie, which is an interesting way of phrasing it. What does that mean? Savannah, Annie, does it include the son-in-law? Tommaso, who's married to Annie? You could thread that needle such that it doesn't, but I think relatives would fairly encompass the son-in-law. And that does not dovetail with our own reporting today. We have contacted our law enforcement.
I personally, I mean, I'm very much like anti-green screen. I would never use a green screen. I think my audience deserves a lot better than just somebody to just throw a green screen up. I have a lot more respect for my audience than to do something like that.
Sources, and we have been steered off of that, saying no one has been cleared. They have not moved away from anyone, and until they have a perpetrator under arrest, assume everyone is still under scrutiny. So, the NBC report may have led to some in the Guthrie family feeling a bit relieved this morning. I'm here to tell you they should not feel relieved.
Whoa.
Everyone is still under scrutiny
Whoa.
until someone is in handcuffs.
Whoa, Megyn Kelly. Oh, let's back that up a little bit here. Not the first time Megan's probably heard back that up, but let's back this video up a little bit here, okay? And again, let me be clear, because I do respect my audience so much. I would never use a green screen. I would never do anything like that. I have way too much respect for my audience. So here we go.
An interesting way of phrasing it. What does that mean? Savannah, Annie, does it include the son-in-law? Tommaso, who's married to Annie? You could thread that needle such that it doesn't, but I think relatives would fairly encompass the son-in-law. And that does not dovetail with our own reporting today. We have contacted our law enforcement sources, and we have been steered off of that, saying no one has been cleared. They have.
What is happening? I've not listened to this Megyn Kelly video, so I had no idea she was going to say this. We were already looking at this ridiculousness, going, the sheriff publicly saying this and how bad it looks. Now she's saying, oh no, they're still suspects. Good Lord, this is so fucking bad.
Have not moved away from anyone. And until they have a perpetrator under arrest, assume everyone is still under scrutiny. So
that's what I've been saying. So, like, why is the sheriff publicly saying, my God, this is the worst TV show ever. This is the worst TV show ever. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, shock. Jeremy, I feel so disrespected. I thought we were better friends than that. No green screen, really? Sorry, John. I mean, I would never use a green screen. I appreciate everybody here. I would never do anything like that. So I could never bring myself to use a green screen. I have a high production value around here. So I would never do it. Maybe for special occasion, but that's about it.
The NBC report may have led to some in the Guthrie family feeling a bit relieved this morning. I'm here to tell you they should not feel relieved. Everyone is still under scrutiny until someone is in handcuffs, and that includes members of the Guthrie family. Sorry, but that's the truth, and I trust my source absolutely. Okay? This is somebody with impeccable credentials and is in a position to know, and so I wouldn't be getting too relieved if I were anybody in the Guthrie.
She's like, this is a little more than her just, this sounds very targeted. This sounds very much like, hey, you mother effers. This doesn't sound like her being like, she's like, if I was them, I would not be sleeping. I would not be sleeping comfortably at night. I would not. Like, she's being very direct on this. Let's back this up a little bit more. John says, to be honest, I'm really here to see what Laughing Man does next. See there, Laughing Man? See there? He's going to be at MegaCon. He's going to be hanging out with us.
Of the Guthrie family. Sorry, but that's the truth. And
hang
I
on.
trust people under scrutiny. This morning, I'm here to tell you they should not feel relieved. Everyone is still under scrutiny until someone is in handcuffs. And that includes members of the Guthrie family.
Bro, I feel more justified than ever. So again, covering this case from the beginning, everybody knows my reasoning why, because of the Trump connection. And then even today, because I've been saying, I'm not saying I'm the only person, but I've been constantly saying like this family needs to be questioned. I'm not saying they're guilty of anything. I'm just saying that you can't just eliminate that many possible suspects when you have zero lead on anything. And here's Megyn Kelly.
Sorry, but that's the truth. And I trust my source absolutely. Okay? This is somebody with impeccable credentials and is in a position to know. And so I wouldn't be getting too relieved if I were anybody in the Guthrie family or elsewhere for that matter. We've never suggested it has to be this guy Tommaso. We haven't suggested that he's off the hook either. So I think keep an open mind. Want to keep going now on the reporting. Okay. That Range Rover that was stopped during the traffic stop the other night. I mean, it is of interest, like what led them to this Range Rover. It was stopped in a Culver's parking lot about 2 hours from Nancy Guthrie.
Culver's parking lot, baby. Another Culver's reference. Laughing Man says, John freaking Murdoch, are you starting a super chat fight? Uh-oh. What's about to happen?
Home, and the person who was driving it was detained, was handcuffed, and there was plenty of video of the FBI interviewing this man. I think it was the FBI. It was a federal warrant, but the local law enforcement, I believe, was also in the field. He was later released. No arrests made, and the vehicle has been impounded and sealed. So they are still trying to extract DNA or other evidence from that vehicle, and who knows whether that one could eventually pan out. I'm drinking more coffee right now because did you guys see the report that those who drank 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day staved off dementia? Like 70% of them. It was crazy. Like the numbers. Check Alex Berenson's X feed because
I heard that, and I just keep forgetting to drink the coffee though. So I keep wanting to, but I keep forgetting to. So
he tweeted out the medical study. Here I go. 2 to 3 has to be caffeinated cups a day, or 1 to 2 cups of tea showed amazing results in staving off dementia. So drink your coffee. It's amazing. Over the years.
Well, what's the big deal? Like if you have dementia, like you don't know you have it, right? So I had a bunch of lag. Is that why people were putting F in the chat? D-Day Cobra is under attack. Quick, send super chats to save my dying channel.
Try as they might, they cannot prove that coffee is bad for you. Isn't that a gift?
I've never drank coffee in my life, and I never will. I just have no desire to drink coffee. Never. Like zero desire to drink coffee.
I mean, we're just waiting for the similar study on alcohol. But right now, it's coffee. So drink your coffee and steer clear of the booze because everybody says that one's bad for you. Okay, so no one has been excluded, and pushback on the theory that it's a burglary and also the theory that they've moved away from the family. And here we are 2 weeks and a day removed from the day they determined that Nancy was missing. Yesterday was the 2-week anniversary, if you will, forgive the term, of when she was discovered missing. It was overnight Saturday into Sunday, January 31st into...
Let's see. No alcohol, no coffee. Jeremy might as well be Mormon. You guys have like no idea how I am away from YouTube because the way I am in real life, like I can't repeat any of the things that I say and the comments that I make, specifically around attractive women. I can't say these things on YouTube. And there's certain words that I say a lot in traffic that I can't say.
Sunday, February 1st. And perhaps the most promising lead they have to go on right now, other than those porch pictures of the perpetrator. Well, there are two, which I want to talk to you about. One is the possibility that Nancy's Nest camera retained other photographs, just like it retained the photographs of Porchman. And Sheriff Nanos gave an interview to the Daily Mail, which was eye-opening, saying, by the way, he too pushed back the thought that this was a burglary gone bad. He said, again, this is a kidnapping. The only thing we're really looking for was the motive, and that we don't know, but did not seem to think.
So let's recap here. We have gone from the idea that the sheriff has publicly decided to say that none of the family members, the Guthrie family members, are suspects. They have been cleared. This is directly from the sheriff, the same sheriff that has botched every single aspect of this case so far. So the sheriff comes out today and says they are completely clear, and please leave them alone. Please leave these famous people alone, these multimillionaires alone. Do not question them. You know, the multimillionaire woman that stood on stage with President Trump and wanted him to denounce everything, denounce white supremacy, denounce that QAnon theories about the Democratic Party being evil pedos, denounce all of this, President Trump. Yeah, that woman. Yeah, we're supposed to be just respectful to her. Yeah. Okay. All right.
This was some guy trying to...
So you have that. Okay, so we have that. We have the sheriff has said that they're all clear. Leave them alone. Don't say anything bad about them. Don't criticize them. Don't ask questions. Nothing. Okay, all of them are clear. All right. Then we get TMZ with another letter that TMZ has received, and Harvey Levin decides he's going to make a direct plea to the person that is sending these letters so he can get a bunch of attention on social media, make appearances on Fox News, yada, yada, yada. Now we have a story that was yesterday saying that investigators believe that it could be a burglary gone wrong and that they believe Nancy could still be alive. Now you're getting a report from Megyn Kelly, who says that there's no belief that this is a burglary gone wrong, and they would never float that theory. That's what her law enforcement officials sources are saying. Then she says that she has people telling her that the Guthrie family is not cleared. Holy crap, dude.
burgle the house, which doesn't make any sense anyway. He had a backpack on his back that was stuffed to the gills. That he didn't have some empty bag. Okay, he might have had some Santa's sack inside that he was going to unveil once he walked in. But do we really believe that? Not a thing was taken. If this is a burglary gone bad, wouldn't you at least get your loot? How is his loot was an 84-year-old woman. There is no evidence thus far, nor has Sheriff Nanos even suggested otherwise, that anything was taken inside. And in fact, Nanos has been dumping on the idea that this was a burglary gone bad, which he wouldn't have done if some massive thing of value was missing from inside the home.
Now, we also have the Don. President Trump has decided to speak on this matter. Trump calls for the death penalty if she's found dead. Now, I have said from the start, obviously I'm a supporter of President Trump. I think that this is a big virtue signal from President Trump's perspective, and I say that with respect because it's Trump taking an opportunity to virtue signal with this, because this is a woman that doesn't like him, that has questioned him. Talking about Savannah Guthrie, doesn't like him, has questioned him. We have reports that Nancy Guthrie, we had that one social media post where Nancy Guthrie back in 2020 reportedly said that she hopes the Trump family goes to jail. And she can't wait for that. By the way, is that Vera Dark with a raid? Thank you, Vera Dark. Hail to you. Thank you for the raid. Was it a FML tonight? Is that what it was? Her and Ryan. What's up, chat? Thank you for everyone tuning in. Checking it out for 50 says dying channel money. You know what? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate that. Checking it out. Laughing Man says TMZ article, the same TMZ you were questioning because of Harvey Levin. Absolutely. But I do know for a fact that Trump made this statement because I heard the statement earlier. So anyway, so Trump, I think he's virtue signaling with this because I think he's taking an opportunity to say, hey, this woman doesn't like me, but she's part of the mainstream media. I'm going to do everything I can to help her find her mother. And I think that he's taking an opportunity to virtue signal, but also try to do the right thing. So I absolutely believe that. Do I think that, I don't know what he believes, and I have no assumptions as to what he believes. Now, I've heard some theories out there from some Trump supporters. They're like, this is 5D chess from Trump. 5D chess. Thank you again for the raid, FML. Thank you so much, Veridark. But I don't think this is 5D chess from Trump, because some people are like, he knows the family's guilty and he's putting a spotlight on it so he can lock them all up. And I'm like, I don't believe that's what he's doing. I do believe that that's probably an unintentional kind of thing that's probably could happen from this, where he's put a lot more eyes on this, but I don't believe that Trump is intentionally doing anything like that. Dermy Wormy with a raid. What up, Dermy Wormy? Hail to you, brother. Good to see you. Delona says, don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Stream. I'm pretty racist and sexist though, so I got that going for me. So yeah, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't drink coffee, no drugs, none of that, but I'm racist as fuck and sexist as hell, according to the internet. So I got that going for me. Let's see. It's McDouble says, will this save your dying channel? I hope so. I really do. Shorty Short says, do you like hot chocolate? I mean, it's not something I typically have, but I mean, I can't say I dislike it, but it's nothing I'm not like consistent on it. Darth Manic says, this channel isn't gay as it used to be. I'm out. You used to send me bigger super chats, so it's clear you're disappointed. That's okay. I can live with that. Silver B Lycan for 10 says, fine, take my super chat tax. Thank you. John freaking Murdoch says, your channel is under a tax. The inside jokes around here are just insane. For people that have never watched this channel, they tune in and like, what is this guy talking about? What is he reading? What is this chat saying? Why are they making all these references? And I get it. I do understand that would be confusing. With that said, this is kind of the latest we have on the Breaking Guthrie situation right here. There's nothing else outside of that. That's a lot that we went over, but it's a lot, man. And it's just every day when you think that this story can't get crazier, it gets more ridiculous. And that's where we are right now with the latest episode of Breaking Guthrie. Intense new characters, new developments, same song and dance from an incompetent sheriff. Culver's is now a central figure in this. We got introduced to Carlton Tyson, who was like a Temu Mike Tyson yesterday. We got introduced to Mike. What was his name? Zaper? Was that his name? That guy was awesome. He kind of looked like an actual like badass version of Ryback. So we got introduced to him. We got Carlos. We got Hector. We've got Santiago. So there's the list of characters that we just continue to get introduced to is a mile long. It's pretty awesome. So is Culver's the new Polos Hermanos? Yes, it is. Culver's is the new Los Polos Hermanos. Zaper, is that his name? So Mike Zaper. Still waiting for Tuco Salamanca to make an appearance. Juan, yes, there's many. So you got Juan, you got Santiago. Again, the only reason I'm saying Santiago is because I was thinking about the movie A Few Good Men, the Code Red, and I was like, Santiago. What was Santiago? It was a Private Santiago, right? Hector, because for obvious reasons, of course, there's a Hector involved in this story. Let me see. Julio, Lalo. I remember. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I always wanted a Polos Hermanos chicken. I would love to have some of that Gus Fring, well cooked, maintained chicken that he has. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. Like Gus Fring seems like a guy that's just like, listen, man, like he's good. He's in good with the DEA. He's donating money to cancer patients. He drives a Volvo. Like, come on, man. I mean, how can you not like that guy? Drives a Volvo, helps out cancer patients, donates to the DEA, and cooks good chicken. How can you hate a guy like that? Seriously, what a great guy. What an awesome guy. Tell you what, man. Saul's not in this season. Yeah, we have had no, like, we need a kind of a weird attorney. Like, we need to have like a weird attorney that starts taking, questions from the media. Yeah, man. Let me see. Tuco was the sniper in Clear and Present Danger. Was he? That's actually pretty cool. All right. So Breaking Guthrie is done. However, ladies and gentlemen, we have an interesting story out of Rhode Island. First, let's give you the mainstream media take on what happened in Rhode Island before we started to get a lot of the details. So here's the mainstream media take on Rhode Island a few hours ago. Here we have it. Okay.
All right, breaking right now, these reports from Rhode Island, we're starting to get some camera shots from outside of this. Reportedly, people were hurt after a shooting at an ice rink in Rhode Island, and children ran to a nearby store to hide, according to a local station there. Senior correspondent Eric Shawn getting some early take on what's going on here on the ground. He's reporting live for us here from the Bureau. Hi, Eric.
Hello, Martha. Yes, so it's an afternoon boys hockey game, a high school game that was occurring in Coventry, between Coventry and the Blackstone Valley schools in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, as you see there. Just after 2 o'clock, gunfire suddenly rang out. We're told one victim has been killed. The suspected shooter also dead. Local reports saying that the young person who was killed was a young girl. That from the mayor's office. 4 people injured in this shooting during that high school hockey game that occurred, reports say, between Coventry Johnson Co-op and the St. Raphael Providence Country Day North Providence North Smithfield Co-op schools. Panicked people ran into the nearby Walgreens during this time when there was the active shooter. All told, 4 people injured. We do not know the condition of their injuries at this time, and police have not identified the shooter. If the shooter was...
This was earlier, just so we're clear. There's been a lot of development since this initial report. There's a lot more.
A high school student or someone else. Rhode Island's Governor Daniel McKee saying they're, of course, on top of the situation, working with local law enforcement. He says he is praying for Pawtucket and everyone involved. So sadly, just after 2 p.m. Eastern time during a boys' high school hockey game, gunfire ringing out. That suspect, the shooter, apparently now dead, taking his or her own life. We're waiting for the latest details and confirmation of all this from police when they have an expected news conference. And of course, we'll be on top of that when that happens. Just a sad and tragic Monday afternoon. Gunfire.
So now this, and I'm just wanting to kind of go through the stages of this before we get to the current. Now, this was Fox News 6 hours ago. Okay. 6 hours ago. Now this is CBS 3 hours ago. Okay. And the title is What We Know About the Deadly Hockey Shooting in Rhode Island. I haven't heard this one yet, but I'm interested to see how they frame this.
Busy Monday night. The breaking news out of Rhode Island tonight, a mass shooting in the middle of a high school hockey game. The players skate on at first, as you can see in this video, then rush for cover as they realize what's happening. At least 5 people hit, 3 dead at this hour, including the shooter. Let's get right to Louisa Moeller of CBS Boston, who's made it to the scene for it.
Are you guys saying there's no sound? Do you guys have no sound? I see quite a few people saying that. Am I getting just trolled or what? Okay. Then if you don't have sound, you probably just have to refresh.
Louisa, good evening. What can you tell us?
Well, Tony, the stands were crowded with people gathered here to just enjoy a mid-afternoon game on a holiday between 2 local high school hockey teams. And then that joy was shattered in just seconds.
Cell phone video captured the moment gunshots rang out during a high school boys hockey game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
We have shots fired, multiple people down.
People in the stands bolted for the exits as hockey players can be seen scrambling to get off the ice.
So they actually just showed, let me see if I can. Right there, I believe that's the shooter. I'm choosing my words carefully because I keep wanting to see how the media is going to approach this, okay?
Cell phone video captured the moment gunshots rang out during a high school boys hockey game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
We have shots fired, multiple people down.
People in the stands bolted for the exits as hockey players can be seen scrambling to get off the ice. Goalie Olin Lawrence was playing when the shooting began.
I heard a couple gunshots go off. I thought it was balloons at first. It was loud, and then it kept going on.
Multiple agencies responded within minutes to find 1 person dead and 4 others injured. First responders could be seen carrying the wounded on stretchers to nearby ambulances.
We learned that another casualty from the shooting was at the hospital, that they succumbed to their injuries after being at the hospital. And there is 3 additional victims at the hospital that all are in critical condition at this time.
Investigators say it was a targeted event, most likely a family dispute. The suspected shooter was also found dead at the scene from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
We're talking to all those witnesses. We have several witnesses that were here and then some that we have brought to the police station where we're talking to them there.
Now, the local school district says that all of the hockey players are safe and accounted for. Local authorities say 2 of the victims are adults, and they believe the suspect acted alone at this time. Tony.
So now we have the latest update of the individual responsible for this. It will be interesting to see how the media sweeps this one under the rug, like we know that they're going to. But this is the reportedly, this is the shooter. This is the dude with mental illness right here. Yep. Every single time. There you have it. Absolutely not surprised one single bit. Here we have the police. Here we go.
So what I can say right now that we have identified the person, the suspect, by a birth name. The birth name was Robert Dorgan. We have also learned that the person does go by the name of Roberta, also uses a last name of Esposito. But again, that will be all confirmed throughout the course of the investigation as to their status that really doesn't have anything to do with the investigation.
The fact that I can play this clip and it's almost a spitting image of what just happened here speaks volumes.
You need to settle down. You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was a general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
Very mentally unhinged. Now, is this going to be, are we calling it what it is, or are we still having to dance around words because mentally ill fucking freaks can't be told that they're mentally ill freaks? Because that's exactly what this is. This is a mental illness that needs to be addressed. Instead, we live in a place where we have to celebrate this bullshit. We have to celebrate this bullshit. Of course, none of you are. I'm not. But that's what the media narrative and the Hollywood narrative has been pushing for years, where when you see some unhinged mental lunatic like this, you are not allowed to say, hey, bro, go get some fucking help. You're supposed to say, you're brave and stunning, and I support you. And that's what creates so many of these mentally unhinged freaks, because they're not allowed to be told that they have problems. You have problems. You need to go to get this dealt with. You need a professional. The problem is a lot of the fucking professionals buy into this leftist bullshit as well. A lot of these professionals are in on it. A lot of them will sit them down and go, oh, you're right. You're a wonderful, beautiful, stunning, brave person, and you can be whatever you want. It's insane. It's awful. Now, the latest update that I saw was right here. Police chief confirmed 2 adult victims were killed in the shooting, no children. Now, so would that mean that the wife and the dude, so you had the dude that dresses up like a woman, he went to kill his wife and then he killed himself? Is that what happened? Is that the latest that we have? Awful. If that's in fact the case. Yeesh. Yeah, is that right? A lot of people are saying yeah. He killed his young daughter too. Well, the community note right here says that no children were killed. So unless there's another update, that's what the community note says right there. So now I saw this interesting piece of news right here. It's just interesting, it's all. Roberta the alleged trans shooter in the Pawtucket hockey game in Rhode Island loved Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene and encouraged them to start a third party together. Well, that's interesting. Because I guarantee you that if this freak would have said anything positive about Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey would have used that against Trump. So, it's all fair game, isn't it? I mean, seems like a typical Massey supporter to me. Seems like a typical Massey supporter, to be fair. And I want to be clear, like, when I'm saying that, just so nobody, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. When I'm saying that that's like a typical Massey supporter, what I'm saying is that Massey supporters are retarded. Just so we're clear. I don't want there to be any confusion about that. That if you are a Massey supporter, you are retarded. Just to be very clear. I wanted to get out, make sure that there was no confusion when I was saying that. So there you go. But yeah, interesting indeed. And it's sad that now you have people traumatized, kids traumatized, families traumatized because some fucking freak that doesn't have no one in their life is willing to tell them that you're mentally ill. And to be fair, probably because they're not allowed to tell these freaks that they're mentally ill. Here we have another situation. We just had a situation in Canada with a mentally ill freak. We've had situation after situation after situation where these mentally ill freaks are doing these things. That doesn't mean that no one else is doing it, but statistically speaking, and just like when AI is accused of being racist because the AI notices trends and statistics. And so when you ask AI a direct question about things that are based on statistics, the AI responds, and then these companies have to go in and change the AI code because the AI code, according to them, is being very, very racist or very, very sexist, but they're not actually being racist or sexist. They're just being honest. Because statistics do matter. It just matters. So, I mean, there's a 41% chance that, people won't have to interact with a person like this for very long. That's what I heard. I can't confirm that. I'm just telling you what I heard. But, we'll see. Sith Lord says, Jeremy's cocaine tax. Thank you. I appreciate that. Stats hurts feelings. Yes, it does. The Mass Marvel says, now I can't pay my electric bill. Pat K199 says, Wednesday will be 25 years. RIP number 3. RIP Earnhardt. Ministry of Fun Thing says, Obama hired Epstein in prostitution scandal. Okay, so Benny Johnson's apparently got that video I need to check out. I'm going to pull it up. Jessica sent me the video. Thank you, Jessica. Oh my gosh. Gotta find it. Okay, so is this the video that you guys listen, I appreciate you, Benny. I do. I'm friends with Benny. I have to skip past his AI intros. I just have to. I have to skip past them. Obama hired Epstein in prostitution scandal. What?
What's up, guys? It's Benny. When the masses are waking up and ready to stage a revolution against the predator elite and their monstrous habits as exposed in the Epstein files, and Barack Obama, 3-term president of the United States, I'm counting Joe Biden's cadaver term as one of Barack's, when Barack Obama himself is now embroiled, hiring Jeffrey Epstein to cover up his own prostitution. Oh, yes, and we have the receipts for that. It's time for bread and circuses. It's time to pacify the masses. Shut up. Shut up, people. Look, it's Barack Obama and Mike. Mush. Mish. This is what Barack calls her. Mesh. There they are. Look at that. The image of love. You know, when a woman goes like this. That's it. That's nothing but love. No, don't worry. Bread and circuses. They were at the All-Star game. Barack Obama was literally catching balls at the All-Star game. There we go. Look, he caught a ball. He's catching balls.
I'm going to just let Benny cook. We all know what Benny's cooking. I hear you, Benny. Hail to Benny Johnson.
Make sure that it goes right to Barack Obama in this All-Star game that's watched by hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. Look, they're at a game. Watch Barack Obama's dainty little leg turned up when he catches the basketball. Don't notice the size of Michelle's hands. Looks like Bigfoot. Legitimately much bigger hands than Barack Obama. Anyway, bread and circuses. Be distracted. There's sparkly lights. Look, there's a flamethrower behind Barack Obama.
God, it's so
Look
cringe.
at this.
So
wow, flamethrowers, sparkly lights. Everyone be distracted. Don't.
The NBA is so like you have no idea how bad it is. The NBA is so dead. The NBA is deader than my channel. Seriously. My channel gets more viewers than the NBA, and my channel's dead, and it's still doing better than the NBA.
Pay attention to Barack Obama covering up prostitution by hiring Jeffrey Epstein. Barack Obama says he likes the Olympics. Barack Obama catches balls. Barack Obama gets a standing ovation. Barack Obama now opposes criminal aliens and opposes all aliens, kind of, by announcing there are aliens.
Here. Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them. And
they're real, okay, but like I haven't seen them except for the millions that I let cross the border. But it's a totally different thing. Bread and circuses. Wait a second, I'm walking back on the alien thing. Whatever. Okay, it's all distraction. It's all distraction.
What's funny is he put out a tweet to walk back that comment about aliens. We already know that Barack Hussein Obama cannot speak without a teleprompter. He can't do it. He does not have the ability to speak without a teleprompter. Do you want me to give you an example of Barack Hussein Obama with teleprompter, without teleprompter? Okay. Barack Hussein Obama with a teleprompter is Dave Filoni with George Lucas running Star Wars. Barack Hussein Obama without a teleprompter is Dave Filoni without George Lucas. It's a fucking disaster. It's an absolute train wreck beyond belief. It is so incredibly terrible.
Barack Obama is a famously private person who doesn't want to go out and do public events, who doesn't want to go out and have questions asked of him, uncomfortable questions. He's bad at this. He's never really been good at it. And he really doesn't want you paying attention to now the Jeffrey Epstein story tightening around his administration. This is Catherine Rumley.
And this is why you can tell how many people are involved in this Epstein thing that are motivated by two different reasons. Either they're way new to politics and they're just following trends, or they have TDS, but they've masked it by telling you that they voted Trump. So they voted Trump because they're libertarian or because they were a DeSantis bro and they had to vote for him at the last second, but they reluctantly did that because they truly hated Trump, which is why they were supportive of DeSantis. But so you have these people that are not stupid, but are angry. They're very, very bitter that Trump won. They're very bitter that they ended up voting for him. The Dave Smiths of the world, the Owen Schroyers of the world, They're very angry that they had to support Trump because in no way, shape, or form did they want to support Trump. And then you have a massive amount of people that have decided, I'm going to talk politics because there's a lot of people talking politics and my channel gets a lot of views talking politics. And so those people have no idea what the fuck is going on. So they just jump on the bandwagon. But the people that have been here for a long time understand that the more focus that the media puts on Trump and Epstein, the more they are projecting to keep people from talking about the real stuff going on with this, because they do not want you to actually know anything about any of this shit. They just want you to focus on Trump, 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 Trump. This is why Moist Critical is now suddenly making videos about this. And CoffeeZilla. Do you remember CoffeeZilla's videos about the Biden administration talking about the Epstein files when Biden was in office for 4 years? Did we get CoffeeZilla breakdowns every other day on the Epstein situation? Joe Biden's in office. Why aren't they releasing the Epstein files? We didn't get any of those videos. We didn't get videos from Moist Critical every day talking about, oh, Epstein disaster. I can't believe the Biden administration is covering this up. We never got any of that. But suddenly now that Trump's here, all of these people that never cared about this suddenly care about this topic.
This is Barack Obama's personal attorney. She was the White House counsel, the most powerful attorney in America, everyone says. She was as close to Barack Obama as anyone. Well, of course, except for Jeffrey Epstein. She emailed Jeffrey Epstein. Look at this. This is Catherine Rumler, former White House counsel for Obama. Look at the number of times she emailed Jeffrey Epstein. More than anyone else on the Epstein list. Look at this.
Damn.
Look at that. Look, almost twice as much as anyone else on the Epstein list. Look at in such incredible amounts, such frequency. Catherine Rumler loved Jeffrey Epstein. She emailed him all the time. The emails from Epstein correspondents. For all lawfare, she was the one who Jeffrey Epstein emailed. So it is fair to say that Barack Obama and Jeffrey Epstein shared a lawyer, and now we know as a matter of fact that Barack Obama hired Jeffrey Epstein. Bread and circuses, be distracted. Barack Obama's great. Isn't he great? No, he's not. And this side of Bill Clinton, he's the president who should answer the most about Jeffrey Epstein, the Obama administration's prostitution scandal, and the Rumler-Epstein connection. Let's read. Epstein, Obama advanced team member, Jonathan Dock. Okay, so advanced team member is like a member of the administration that goes.
By the way, I got to show you this really quick because it's super funny. Cat Turd. Many of you know of this political commentator, very, very pro-Trump. I don't really have anything against him, but this shit's funny. He's got, how are any of you in the, he says, are any of you in the Epstein files like Thomas Massey? I'm not. How about you? The community note says the author of this post, Cat Turd, is in fact mentioned in the Epstein files. Oh my God. That is amazing right there. Like, dude, like, it's so good. I have nothing against Cat Turd. Don't block me, Cat Turd, because I'm reacting to a community note. Had a few instances where I kind of laughed at a funny community note and got blocked. So just saying, I don't believe Cat Turd has done anything wrong. It's just funny. Okay. Anyway, we get back to the video at hand. Here we go.
On trips to get things in order. Jonathan Dock is like a nobody. He was caught with a hooker in a hotel room in Colombia. Okay. This is not good when you're in presidential detail. It obviously can cause major problems. Obama's then top lawyer, Catherine Rumler, attempted to cover it up, which cost her the Obama Attorney General job. Rumler just quit her $25 million a year job at Goldman Sachs last week. Oh, no. What happened here exactly?
It's crazy, man. A politician caught with a hooker in a hotel room? You're kidding me. Never imagined that would happen. I mean, politicians are such upstanding people. They're so amazing. Like, I just, it's so shocking that someone in the political world caught with a hooker. That's
Rumler
crazy.
Obama covered up for the prostitution scandal. Instead, they blamed the Secret Service. 10 members lost their jobs over the scandal. So they torched 10 members and their careers. This is where it gets really exciting. So who did order the Colombian hooker? It turns out it was 25-year-old presidential advance team member Jonathan Dock, who was staying in room 513 at the Cartagena Hotel.
Whoa, Benny, my boy. Whoa, what you saying there, Benny?
Staying in room 513 at the Cartagena Hotel.
Oh, my boy, Benny. Based AF Benny. Let's go. Let's play some Modern Warfare 2, Benny. Let's go.
To Cartagena Hilton. Doc was a nobody, but Doc's father, Leslie.
All right, listen. Benny sounds like he's reading one of my super chats. He's trying to like dance through it. It's so funny.
Doc was a nobody, but Doc's father, Leslie, is a huge financial backer of Barack Obama. Would you look at that? Doc started working full-time for the Obama administration. Oh, and the global women's issues at the State Department. Global women's issues, hiring the Colombian hookers. Doc's father, Leslie Doc, prominent Democratic donor, who gave tens of thousands of dollars to the party to help elect Obama. In his previous job, he was a top lobbyist for Walmart. Oh, my. And he partnered with Michelle Obama on special projects. He, too, joined the Obama administration. Would you look at that? So Doc his son went on, got a plum job at the White House, and then hired a bunch of hookers. And then they blamed it on the Secret Service, which is total scapegoating the Secret.
Maybe because I've watched House of Cards way too many times, but like I have this idea that everyone in politics has some type of hooker story. I mean, look at the guy that was almost a governor of Florida, Andrew Gillum. You guys know about that one? Andrew Gillum was, if it wasn't for Trump's endorsement of Ron DeSantis, Andrew Gillum might have been the Florida governor. All right. And when I say what I'm about to say about Andrew Gillum, I'm not memeing. He's a gay black crackhead. That's not a meme. That's not a joke. He's a gay black crackhead. You can look it up. Gay black crackhead was almost a Florida governor. Holy shit.
Service to protect one of their dirty donors. And here's where it gets great. This is where it gets amazing. There was a cover-up orchestrated by Catherine Rumler and Jay Carney to avoid implicating Doc and his dad while throwing the Secret Service under the bus. So they said it was the Secret Service who were hiring the hookers, but it wasn't. It was actually their donors.
It might have been meth. I can't remember.
This.
It may have been meth. He may have had some of the blue stuff. He may have had some of the blue stuff. I'm not sure. It's either crack or meth. But either way, he's gay and black, which is far worse than the meth or the crack.
As an aside, Doc's hookers had
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Instagram taste. The woman had posted photos of herself in undergarments in front of the Summit of America's sign on time for the trip. At that point of the cover-up, Doc's prostitution scandal only got bigger and included Charles Edwards, acting Inspector General, Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano. Uh-oh. Okay, fine. Some kid bangs a hot Colombian hooker. Obama throws 10 Secret Service agents under the bus to protect one of his top financial backers. That's just life in D.C. Happens all the time. But here's the twist. Catherine Rumler brought on Jeffrey Epstein to fix it.
And somehow Epstein has returned. Not only that, what up, Harley Dave? I see you, brother. Your channel is under attacks. Harley Dave. So what's funny is, because we talked about the Michael Jordan story earlier, and as I said, I think that if you understand the context, I don't think that there's anything overly concerning about the Michael Jordan video at all. But with that said, the memes are here. The memes are here. So you've all seen the Michael Jordan meme of F them kids, right? I've seen that. It's not meant in a sexual way. It's just like, F off. Well, the internet has responded to that one. First, I guess some of you may have not seen it. F them Jordan. I'm not going to type the whole thing out in my search history. My search history is already fucked enough as it is. So you got this meme right here. So this is the Michael Jordan meme. Okay. Well, the internet has responded to the Michael Jordan news that has taken, storm. God. The internet is the most savage place of all time. Always understand that is what the internet is for, is savagery.
Oh, yeah. The direct connection is unbelievable here. Here's an email chain between Rumler and Epstein when Rumler was hoping to replace Eric.
And yes, Michael Jordan's middle name is Jeffrey. Michael Jordan's middle name is Jeffrey. Oh my God. Dude. The internet will always bring shit into it.
Eric Holder as the next attorney general, as she lost to Loretta Lynch after this sex scandal blew up, drafting her response to exonerate Doc and avoid the appearance of a cover-up. Here's Rumler sharing some more thoughts with Epstein over the cover letter. Needless to say, this matter was strictly confidential and was secret at the moment, the biggest scandal rocking the Obama White House. There's a text chain between Rumler and Epstein in clearer context. Here they are going back and forth over the editing of.
And see, this is my thing about the whole Trump and Epstein connection, is that all they have on the Trump-Epstein connection is that Trump knew Epstein a long time ago before literally anyone knew he was, guilty of anything. That's all they have. Even the other day, Asmongold was reacting to the Epstein files, basically exonerating Trump. And even Asmongold was like, I'm pretty sure Trump and Epstein were really good friends for a long time. Based on what? Based on what? Where are you getting that from? Where is that information coming from? How do you where do you have that information? There is nothing to support the claim that Trump and Epstein were really good friends for a long time. There's nothing that even remotely close to that. We know that they publicly hung out once or twice. That's what we know. That's it. So all of the Trump-Epstein connection is from a long time ago, before he was ever suspected of doing anything. All these other interactions are after we knew Epstein was a creep. You should debate Charlie. I mean, first of all, I don't really debate, and I don't think Charlie is, after the Sneeko thing, I don't think Charlie's going to look to debate anybody. Secondly, Charlie has no idea who the fuck I am. So, yeah, I don't see that ever happening. But I don't do the internet, debate bullshit. I'm much like Asmongold on that sense, where it's just a waste of fucking time.
This lie, this cover-up. They're going back and forth and exchanging notes and writings. Finally, here's a letter to then Obama White House Deputy Press Secretary Eric Schultz, sent in coordination with Rumler, who wrote the Washington Post article exposing Jonathan Dock.
Moist knows you. I would find that to be very, very surprising if he did. Maybe he does. I mean, I've been shocked at a lot of people that know me, but I would not imagine he knows who I am. Also, I would not look to debate Charlie. Would I have a conversation with him? Yeah. I can't stand the format of let's debate on the topics. I hate that template. I fucking hate it. I like talking to people. So like if you look at some of the other people I've talked to in the past that I don't agree with or had issues with or whatever, I'll talk to people because I think a conversation is far more effective than a debate where people are trying to one up each other. I think from an audience standpoint, a genuine conversation about where you stand, where I stand, why do you feel the way you feel? Here's the way I feel. Well, okay. And then a debate may, come from that, but like I hate the sit down debate format bullshit on the internet. I fucking hate it. I think it's gay.
Prostitution scandal. And here's the letter that Epstein helped Rumler draft, in which he also sent the Washington Post.
Culture Clash is bullshit. You all debate for hours over the stupidest shit weekly on Tuesday Night's Main Event. But that's not, no. Those are conversations that spiral into debates because me and my friends are talking shit to each other. It's not like we set this up to go, hey guys, let's do a debate on the internet. Like that's not what we do. On Tuesday Night's Main Event, we just argue over retarded shit because we're retarded.
Defending Doc from the sprawling prostitution scandal. Whoa. Yeah, the obvious questions of the Obama administration prostitution scandal cover-up, which Congress DOJ should finally ask. The most important question is, why did Obama's top lawyers summon the help of disgraced pedophile in planning her defense against a prostitution scandal? In the end, Epstein failed. Rumler's attempts to damage control did not work. She withdrew from the consideration to replace DHE. Oh my goodness.
Culture Clashers, he noticed me. Yes, you're always here. Conversations that spiral upward into a debate. Well, yeah, I mean, again, so like, I remember there'll be one person I'll mention, the other I won't, but like Angry Joe, for instance. Angry Joe was like telling me he was wanting to come on the main event. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea at all. You're going to get fucking annihilated. And I'm saying that out of all due respect. Like, you're going to get crushed by my chat and my panel. You're going to get fucking annihilated. And all it's going to do is make us look like bullies. Like, that's not a winning formula for me. You're going to get crushed, but the optics will be terrible for me. Like, because people will be like, Jeremy needed all of his friends to help him. Like, I don't need anybody to help me debate anybody or argue with anybody. But I just told him, I was like, that's not a winning format at all. My chat's going to roast the living fuck out of you. And my panel's it's just going to be us yelling at you and telling you you're a fucking retard for 3 hours. We talked, what we did do is we talked on Discord. And us talking on Discord, it was, I don't know how to describe it. It's like I knew less about him after having a conversation with him, if that makes sense. Like I just was like, this guy just doesn't have a concept of who I am. Joe has this idea of me that basically my entire existence in life, like in Joe's mind, and I'm not bullshitting, Angry Joe's mind, he thinks that my entire existence is Trump. He thinks that I drive around in a MAGA truck with Trump 47 stickers. He thinks that my house is decorated in Trump. He thinks my lawn is decorated in Trump standees. He thinks that my family has to be obsessed with Trump. He thinks that every relationship I have in my life is directly if you support Trump. Like that, I am not bullshitting. That is his concept of me. And I tried to explain to him, I'm like, that's literally not anything remotely close. I have no Trump stickers on my vehicles because I don't want crazy leftists to keep my fucking vehicles. I don't put my Trump support on my fucking front lawn because I don't want leftists to burn my fucking house down because you motherfuckers are crazy. My family and I don't talk politics. Most of the people on my team don't support Trump. And he just couldn't concept that because in his mind, every Trump supporter is what he perceives me to be. It's crazy. Now, there's another YouTuber that's even bigger than Angry Joe that's in that sphere, and he wanted to come on. And I was like, no. And I point blank told this person, I don't trust you. I don't like you. And we had a 3-hour conversation on Discord. I told him that I believed he was recording our call, that he was trying to get me to say something that he could use against me. And he goes, I'm not. I would never do. I was like, I don't care what you say. I'm just telling you, I don't trust you. And I believe that you have this all recorded, which is totally fine because I'm not an idiot. I never say shit that can be used against me in private anyway. So yeah, so like many of these guys want to do this stuff. So this is a long way of saying that even though Moist Critical is one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, I would not look to have a conversation with him publicly. If he wanted to talk to me privately, I would do that. But I would not be looking to do some, debate publicly bullshit, because these guys that have these perceptions of Trump supporters, I don't trust them. I don't trust their motives to want to talk to me. I don't trust what they are trying to do. I don't trust them. So that's why I would rather talk to them privately so that I can try to explain things to them and then I can see how their reaction is to me. And again, both of these other guys that are far bigger than me, both of my conversations with these guys off the record was just like, I didn't feel any better about either one of them once we had the talk. Let's see. Bargate says, Quartering is accusing you of creating the D-Day Cobra subreddit as a dedicated anti-quartering subreddit. I'm not going to take that at face value. I don't know that he said that. So whatever. I mean, I created it as an anti-quarter. Oh shit. I created it as a really like a community building place where we could share positive stories and positive influence about building friendship and community. And at no point did I ever want memes or anything. All right. So, yeah. Let's see. I said it slow enough. I knew what he was trying to say, but I said it slow enough. That's why I paused. I was like,
And then Jeffrey Epstein got her a plum job at the Rothschild's Bank. You can't make it up. Obama administration turns to Jeffrey Epstein to help them with the hooker scandal. Oh my. Here's, of course, the full Washington Post article on this. You can go ahead and read it. Details. And here are the Epstein emails. The aforementioned Epstein emails. Look at how much he was emailing Rumler about this issue. Here's their back and forth. Here you can see and then back. Ooh, man.
Jeremy made his subreddit account because the Jews told him to. Exactly. If we're going to make some accusations about me, let's make some accusations. But anyway, listen, Benny Johnson's got this video here. Obama hired Epstein in prostitution scandal. And the media is not going to talk about this. They're going to talk about Donald Trump having a conversation with Jeffrey Epstein 150 years ago, but they're not going to talk about any of these connections to the Obama administration and Jeffrey Epstein. They're not going to talk about any of this other stuff, because why would they? Because they're not interested in Jeffrey Epstein. They're only interested in Trump over and over again. But Trump, let me see. All right. So thank you, Benny. Hail to Benny Johnson. The fantastic OG says, well, at least they are not eating the kids. Well, at least they're not sacrificing them to Satan. Well, at least they're not trying to open a portal to hell. That is where I draw the line. Andrew for 10 says, no one should be forced to live in other people's delusion. The truth will always float in time. I agree. Harley Dave says, your channel is under a tax. Justin says something tax. That's a good super chat right there. That's a very good super chat. Let me see. Paul says donation for the elite IDOT strike group, a tax force 199. A tax force is freaking great. Evil Black Cat says, yikes, man-jawed nightmare fuel. Oh, you think that's bad? What you saw? Because I saw some pictures that are even worse of the Rhode Island situation. It's bad. Holy crap, bro. What? This is awful. Oh, it's much worse. It's far worse than we thought, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it's far worse. Yikes. Yikes to the next level. Holy crap. Breaking, the daughter of the Rhode Island ice rink shooter says her father was very sick and he reportedly dressed in women's clothing when the shooting took place. I feel terrible for this young lady. I feel terrible for her.
Family. And he's dead now.
She described that shooting suspect as her father. She came out of the police department behind me here in tears after presumably being interviewed by police.
My father was a shooter. Probably.
What happened?
Shot my family. And he's dead now.
What was the reasoning? Was there a family argument?
He has mental health issues.
I feel so bad for this woman. I feel terrible for her. I feel terrible.
And he's dead now.
What was the reasoning? Was there a family argument?
He has mental health issues.
So, yes, she goes on to describe those mental health issues a little bit more. She says that he had been struggling with mental health for quite some time. She said, quote, he was very sick.
My family.
Yeah, you think? But of course, she wasn't allowed to call this out. She wasn't allowed to say, my father has a mental illness. She was not allowed to say that. Because if she did, she would have been branded. What is the term that they call you when you're when you call these freaks out? I don't even know. But yeah, I mean, this is the problem with this, is that even the direct family is not allowed to call this stuff out. Yeah, you guys are right. What do they call people that call this stuff out? Normal. Yeah, I know, like transphobe. Yeah, they have all these like code names that they call people for that, but we call them normal, logical thinking human beings. Therapist probably egged him on. I agree, Harley Dave. That's why, like, I mean, for me, and again, I am not giving anybody advice. I am just telling you what me, as a complete retard from Alabama, Roll Tide, thinks about the situation. But in my opinion, I have always felt that it's a scam, that there are people that we are told are therapists that we are supposed to go give our most inner thoughts to and share our darkest secrets with people, because we are told that they are a professional and we are told that they went to school for it. I've always thought that is one of the biggest scams in the world. I would, under no circumstance would I ever speak to someone because they have a fucking piece of paper or a plaque that says that they are qualified. My stance on this is to always speak to people that you trust in your personal life. If you need to talk with someone, you speak to that. Let's see. Jeremy stole that off of Andrew Wilson. Well, I've never really watched Andrew Wilson, so if I did steal it from him, it was because I have these powers that go beyond grifting, because I've never heard Andrew Wilson say that, because I don't watch Andrew Wilson. Yeah. But the bottom line is this has always been a scam. Just like I think, college is a scam. I've said that. Maybe Andrew Wilson said it first and I stole it from him. But I think that, college is a scam, with the exception of if you have like a specific thing that you're going to college for. I think it's a fucking scam. I think the public school system is a fucking scam. Said that for years too. So maybe he said that one too. Pay money for them to ask you questions. Yes. Well, he did say it on Joe Rogan. I don't watch Joe Rogan. I only watch Joe Rogan when there is someone I'm interested to see. So I have watched, I mean, off the top of my head, maybe 5 full episodes of Joe Rogan. Maybe. I watched the Trump episode. I watched the Gina Carano episode. There's a few others that I've probably watched in its entirety, but that's really, I don't watch Joe Rogan. I find Joe Rogan, I respect that Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan, but I find Joe Rogan to be incredibly naive when it comes to real world politics. I find him to be naive on Trump, and this is why it took Joe Rogan till the night of the fucking election. The biggest voice in the world. It took Joe Rogan until like the night before the 2024 election to decide that Donald Trump was a better choice than Kamala Harris. That's not really someone that I want insight from, shockingly enough. But again, I respect the fact that he's the biggest voice in the world and he's got the biggest show in the world. So congrats to him. But if you need to the night before the election of 2024 to decide that Trump is better than Kamala, then holy fuck. Holy shit. Don't do drugs, kids. What about Elon? In terms of what? His episode with Joe Rogan? I mean, I love Elon. I find Elon fascinating to listen to, but also frustrating at times because Elon, he really, and it's the older he's gotten, Elon thinks about everything he says, which I do respect because, you know, everything he says is used against him, except for when he's on Twitter. He tends to not think too much on Twitter, but when he's in interviews, Elon is very, very, very strategic in how he answers things. You don't watch Rogan for Rogan, you watch him for his guests. I understand that. I mean, he's a great interviewer. I've watched a couple of, let's see. So he's had some wrestlers on there. I watched a lot of his Ric Flair interview. I think Kill Tony was on there for those. So I've watched a handful, but not many. I don't watch Rogan. Let's see. Hogan. I watched some of his Hulk Hogan interview. I'll never forget that, what's their name? I've talked about this before too. The Nelk Boys. The Nelk Boys had Hulk Hogan on, and they didn't know anything about the NWO. And I wish you could have saw me cringing when I saw that moment. And I'm going, you guys are lucky enough to have the legendary Hulk Hogan on your show, and you couldn't even do the most basic research imaginable. They didn't even know what the NWO was. And I'm like, oh my God. Yikes. Anyway, Phil says, detransition tax. Andrew Morgan says, Michael was channeling his inner Fleece Johnson, the booty warrior. Nips Litter says, remember when cowards ran away from you at Star Wars Celebration, Jeremy? I wasn't there, but Lamau. Yes, you are. Well, there's a few of them, but you're specifically talking about Star Wars. The fuck's his name? Star Wars Explained. Star Wars Explained. Yeah. So, I really haven't talked about Star Wars Explained a lot lately, but quick summary of that is that me and him had beef a long time ago. And I basically made a video. All right. So the story was he featured me in a video when my channel had about 20,000 subscribers. He had about 400,000 subscribers. I couldn't believe he featured me in a video and he called me out on something. I initially took it like, hey man, I appreciate you calling me out. I'll own it, whatever. He then said something the following week that pissed me off. And again, this is very early on in my YouTube career. So he said something that pissed me off the next week, or he did something. And so I responded with a 40-minute video where I dropped about 150 F-bombs, and in the most direct, indirect way, I didn't threaten him. I simply said that there will be a day that you and I are at the same place. And on that day, you will not have your subscribers to hide behind. You will not have your chat to hide behind. You will have to confront me face to face, man to man, and you will have to answer directly my questions about why you're a little bitch. And that video was the first video I ever made that got age restricted. And I got scared to death because I was like, oh shit, my channel is under attacks. And so yeah, it was I think somebody has that video re-uploaded right now. You'd have to look that shit up, because somebody re-uploaded that video after mine, because I privated mine when it got age restricted. That video, as of a few years ago, was still up somewhere. Somebody re-uploaded that shit. But anyway, long story short is, when I went to Star Wars Celebration in 2018 or whatever, I think, or 2019, I can't remember when this was. I made a point to find any of these Star Wars YouTubers or Star Wars website people that have that went after me. I made a point to find them and confront them. And I walked straight up to them. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? My name's Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. How you doing? Hey, do you want to talk to me about the shit that you said about me being a racist or a sexist? Like, I just want to clear the air. Considering you said all this shit about me, here I am. I did that to multiple people. The only person that handled it like a man was a guy named Star Wars Only. Me and him had a lot of beef, and he agreed to meet me at Star Wars Celebration. We met, we hung out for about 20 minutes. We had a great conversation, totally cool, totally chill, shook hands and be like, no problem, man. It was just a bunch of shit talking. The rest of these fucking losers would not talk to me. And every time Star Wars explained specifically when I confronted him, because he had already agreed, or he had already refused to meet with me, because this is so gay. This is so gay. So when I was trying to talk to Star Wars Explain, he would not directly speak with me on private message on Twitter. He brought in a third-party YouTuber from the Star Wars community to basically be a communicator for me and him, because he couldn't talk to me directly. So how this communication happened was, this third-party YouTuber would pass along, I'm not lying, pass along what I was saying to Alex. Alex would respond to that person. That person would bring me back to what Alex said. Okay. Yeah, let me get it off the screen, because this is terrifying. Okay. So my whole thing was, I would like to have a respectful conversation with Alex at Star Wars Celebration. I'm not there to be confrontational. I'm not trying to be mean. I would just like to talk and clear the air. That's it. And he declined, said he didn't feel comfortable. So when I did see him and his wife on the floor at Star Wars Celebration, I confronted him and he ran. And I wasn't going to make a scene, so I just let it go. But that's the backstory there. So, Jeremy, I put it in Reddit. Oh God, this video of me. Oh no, I don't really want to watch this shit, dude. Where is it at? Well, I'm not seeing it. I'm refreshing, unless I have to approve it, maybe, or something. I don't know. I got newest. Oh my God. What is happening in this Reddit page? What is going on? New? I am. I have the newest. I have the newest ones loaded. Like right here. The newest one is. Oh no! Jesus! Oh my God! What the fuck is this? What is that? What is this shit? Yeah. All right. So let me refresh. I'm not gonna share this on screen, but let me refresh. I'll go to mod mail, maybe mod tools. Let me see if there's any. Oh, here we go. Okay, I got it. Oh no. Oh, this is 15,000 views 7 years ago. I don't want to watch this. I really don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this.
I really wasn't planning on this being a regular series, and I still hope that it doesn't turn out that way.
Oh no.
And I put a link for my new Last Week in Clickbait t-shirts that we just put out, and they are on sale right now if you're interested in that. I really wasn't planning on this being a regular series, and I still hope that it doesn't turn out that way.
So the context here is that he made a series called Last Week in Clickbait, and he basically called me and Star Wars Theory and a few other people in the Star Wars community out for clickbaiting about a topic. And he virtue signaled and says, I really didn't want to make this, and hopefully I never have to make these videos again. And then I talked to him, or, I cleared the air with him, and I accepted his criticism of me. And then the very next week, he came out with that series that he claimed he didn't want to come out with, and he was selling t-shirts for it. And I'm like, you fucking piece of... Anyway.
And I put a link for my new Last Week in Clickbait t-shirts that we just put out, and they are on sale right now if you're interested in that.
I really wasn't planning on this being a regular series, and I still hope that it doesn't turn out that way.
This guy, who does not have a small following, admits in his video that he doesn't know whether or not the article he's referencing is legit. He even asks his viewers to do the research for him and let him know later on. He's saying that he didn't do anything beyond read this one article, and he's mad about it, and boy, is he ready to tell you why.
What's up, everyone? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video. And today we are going to talk about Alex from Star Wars Explained. Oh, you guys know Alex. Old Alex. Oh, he's such an internet respecter. Oh, he is battling clickbait left and right. He is so against clickbait. He does not want people clicking on things on the internet. That is not what the internet is for, everyone. I mean, surely Alex didn't, make YouTube videos. Alex didn't get on the biggest platform.
I look older now? I actually probably look younger now. I was a little chubby then.
On the internet that he respects. He didn't come to YouTube for clicks. He doesn't theorize about bullshit that he knows nothing about for clicks. No. Alex is an internet respecter, okay? Alex is here to protect us from the horrors of the internet. Now, if you'll remember, I responded to Alex, and I responded in kind because, at the end of the day, my favorite saying that you guys continue pointing out, but at the end of the day, I owned my mistake. And I had already released a video owning my mistake, but I still was.
I've seen you without a filter. I have no filter on. No fucking filter. I'll turn the filter on right now, though. Hang on. Fucking filter. Look at that. Woo! Wait, what? Oh, where'd I go? Where'd I go? Okay, there we go. There. Look at that filter. Look at that clean skin. Woo-wee. Look at that clean skin. All right, turn that shit off. All right, here we go. Back to this.
Like, you know what? He says this is a one-time thing, and I'm going to take him at his word. And that was my first mistake, was taking this little bitch at his word. So Alex specifically says in the video how much he does not want to do these videos and how much it hurts. It hurts. It hurts him, guys. It hurts him, and we have to help him battle the clickbait. And then he ended and said, I hope I never make this again. I hope I never.
By the way, all of this is recorded on a, hang on, a Google Pixel. Audio and all. This is all on a Google Pixel.
Ever make this again. Guys, help me battle the clickbait. I don't want to do it. So then week 2 rolls around, and his show that he didn't want to do came back. Amazing how that worked. I guess those 60, 70,000 views or whatever you got on that video was a lot more than your, is Snoke going to return in episode 9? I guess it got a few more clicks than that one. So you decided to bring it back for week 2. Didn't feature me in week 2. I got to say, Alex, I was a little hurt by that, man. I thought we had something. Then we get to week 3. This little motherfucker that claims that he's so against doing this show, and he hopes he has. I hope I just stop.
Why did I delete the video? Because it got age restricted, and I got scared. I did not know what age restricted meant at the time on YouTube, so I thought my channel was in trouble.
Hope we stop this series, guys, because I respect the internet. I respect it so much that I don't want to do it. So this little motherfucker starts selling merchandise of the show that he never wanted to do, and he hopes it goes away. Yet now he's selling merchandise. This motherfucker is a fraud, okay? And again, I tried to play nice, but you have fucked up now, okay? You have fucked up royally with me, because I know what you are, Alex. You are a motherfucking bully, okay? You have your 460,000 subscribers. I've point blank said I've been a fan of your channel, and I have. And I've learned a lot from you. When it comes to Star Wars, I would be willing to bet you know more than me. I've never claimed to be an expert. I don't claim to be anything other than a motherfucker with an opinion, and I get on YouTube and I share it. And that's all I am. So you can have the expert title all you want. It really does not matter to me. But you tried to take your big ass channel and you tried to squash another channel, a fucking channel that had less than 20,000 subscribers at the time. I believe I had less than 20,000 when you made that video. A fucking 460,000 sub channel. You're trying to squash my channel because you've seen it rise so much in the past few months. I've said it plenty of times. My channel had about 800 subscribers at the first of the year. Now we're at 25,000. And you don't like my opinions. And you don't like what I'm saying. Hey, I just have to jump in and let everyone know that I, in the video, said that I was below 20,000 subscribers, and I was actually above 20,000 when this all happened. So I want to correct it. I'm learning to respect the internet much more now. I don't use it for porn or anything like that. And I'm sure Alex doesn't either. I'm sure he respects the internet enough to not do that. So I was actually above 20,000, not below. Now you have the facts. Now you are better prepared in life because I'm an internet respecter. And guess what? You have completely ruined your credibility.
So clearly I still had sarcasm back then.
you have fucked it up. You're still going to get your clicks and you're still going to get your views because you are a fucking clickbait master. Even though you claim you're not, you are. But when I realized that you are nothing more than a snake in the grass, and I heard you were a snake in the grass when I made my video where I owned my mistake and I tip my cap to you. I specifically told my people that watch my videos, do not go to your comments and fuck with you. I specifically said that. Now here you are playing the internet respecter. Mr. We don't need clickbait, yet I'm going to make a clickbait show. So when you chopped up my video and you manipulated everything I said, you said you were doing it specifically because you were so upset by the clickbait. That's what you said. So before you finalized your video, I had already made a response to my video owning my mistake. You then had to pull your video down and edit in my response to my video. So if you really cared about the clickbait, when you saw that I already responded to my own video on my own, why then did you...
Do I still have that hat? I think so. If it's not here, it's in my other setup. I'll have to look and see. I do have it. I just don't know if I have it with me. But I still own that hat.
Continue to upload your clickbait video because you wanted the motherfucking clicks, because you're on YouTube. That's why I do what I do. That's what you do. That's why everybody on this fucking channel does what they do to get clicks. So the new term these days now is clickbait is like the new racist or sexist. If you are intimidated by someone or someone is doing something that you don't like, or if you want to try to discredit them, you're just going to accuse them of clickbait. Continue to do it. You dumb fuck. You have given me more of a following now than I would have had previously, and you're going to continue to do it. And like I said on my video yesterday, because I've been slowly getting aggravated with you since I made my response to you, my respectful response. I've been really, really trying to hold it in, but the more I hear from you, the more I see your fucking face, the more I just get aggravated. But when I heard that you were actually selling merch of your This Week in Clickbait, I knew it. I was like, this little piece of shit, he is a snake, an absolute snake. And you can continue that game, and you can continue to pander to Disney and Lucasfilm and suck their dicks all you want. I'm not going to do that. And at the end of the motherfucking day, okay, I know I'm being honest on my channel. I know that my followers aren't clicking my videos to have their opinions reinforced. My followers are clicking on my video for honesty, and that's what they're going to get. They're not going to get a little pandering bitch behind a camera. And here's another thing that you haven't thought about, because you have fucked up, because you thought you were messing with a small little channel that would tuck his tail and run. And I tried to be nice to you. I tried. One of these days, you and I, and let me be clear before.
Here we go. All right. So the fact that I still knew to give this, to preface this, it shows that even though it was my early days of YouTube, I knew what that I was going to say could be completely used against me. But yeah, here we go right here.
I tried. One of these days, you and I, and let me be clear before I say it, because I know your little bitch ass is going to think that's what I'm saying. I am not threatening physical violence at all. What I'm saying is one of these days, you and I will be at the same place at the same time, and you will have to look me eye to eye if your little ass can reach my eyes, and you're going to have to deal with me. And then let's see how tough you are when you have to stand face to face to me, when you are confronted by a fucking man who isn't scared of you, by someone when you're standing face to face with me, you're not going to have your 460,000 subscribers. You're not going to be against me and my 20,000. You're going to be standing face to face with a motherfucker who's not scared of you and who's not playing tough guy behind a camera. So if you want, you can send me an email after you see this video. You can send me an email. I'll give you my phone number. We can set something up right now. I'd love to meet your ass face to face, not for a debate, not for the fucking cameras, not for anything, just so you can see what it's like to be confronted face to face with somebody who's not scared of your little bitch ass. So, in closing, I'll just say thank you for not only helping my platform grow, but exposing your own. Because
I'm a man. I'm 40.
People know you're a fraud now. You have worked very hard to build your channel. I was a fan of your channel. I know a lot of people who have been a fan of your channel. And up until a few weeks ago, I never had one single problem with you. I was your fan. You decided to put me on blast on your channel. Me, just an up-and-coming YouTuber who's just trying to do what's best for my company and my YouTube channel. And you went after my hard work and my livelihood. Me, just a little bitty fucking channel who was saying stuff that you didn't like. So you, the big bad bully, you wanted to take your big 400 and something thousand subscribers and try to crush me. You completely fucked everything up, dude. You really did. And that's okay with me. It sucks because, like I said, man, I've always liked your channel. I don't know what you were thinking, but you are done. You are done. Yeah, you'll get your views. You'll probably go up a few subs here and there, and that's fine. But it's done. It's all done.
This is so cringe.
And see, I don't
for
edit
me.
my
This is
videos
so
to make
cringe.
myself sound smarter. I don't do the jump cuts. I don't do the fancy graphics. I just turn the camera on and I fucking talk. I don't need all of this stuff to make me sound or look better. I am what I am. I'm recording this on a front-facing Note 5 right now.
Oh, it's a Note 5.
Because
Okay.
that's what I do. Because it's not about
A Note 5? Oh my God. That's how long ago this was. A Note 5. Holy shit.
how fancy my videos are. It's not about the graphics. It's not about the theories. It's not about the production value. It's about what I'm saying. And I'm just giving it to you like I feel. And that's it. And if you have a problem about it, and no, motherfucker, it won't be for your fucking cameras. I want to talk to you face to face with nobody around, with no bullshit editing tricks, and let's see how tough you are then when you don't have your subscribers. I pretty much guarantee I won't hear from you, and that's okay. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you later.
Jesus. How cringe is that shit, dude? Oh my God. There you have it. And again, the follow-up to that is that we ended up at the same place at the same time. I went to confront him, and he ran. So there you have it. There's the backstory. So Philip John says, okay, I got to sleep. Go get some sleep, man. Go get some sleep. But yeah, that's 7 years ago, man. Somebody said back when I was 40 years old. I was 40 years old in that video. You believe that? Yeah, I was 40 years old then. Look at that. I guess 39 or 40, something like that. So there it is right there. So Maps Go on the Wall says consequences will never be the same energy for 10. Thank you. Harley David says this mother effer tax. Spring chicken. You look younger. Now you're saying I look younger? I don't know. What do you here, let's go back to it. Now or then? I mean, my facial hair is going to add a little to it. Whenever I shave, it knocks like 5 years off. But I don't know. I mean, well, hang on. Let me turn the fucking filter on. Let me turn the beauty filter on. Okay, now look, I have no blemishes. I have no blemishes now. I have perfect skin. I am flawless. I'm ready to go full Zoolander, baby. All right? Let me turn that shit off. Let's see. There. All right, no more filter. Jeremy has de-aged. I did not expect to react to that shit. Harley says, Jeremy, what would you say to your pubescent self? Keep grifting. That's about it. And Harley Dave's going to send you a lot of money one day. So, your older self has way lighter skin. Well, I mean, lighting is going to have something to do with that too. I mean, back then, I mean, like, seriously, I could hit my lights right now and I can make my, like, I don't know how I actually look, but like, I mean, I do live in Florida. I'm usually out in the sun. So, I don't know. I don't know what type of lighting setup I had and shit. Soldier On says, honesty tax. Let's freaking go. Upgraded to a Note 6 by now. I mean, I still have a Note. I mean, I guess technically this is the, what is it? They call it the Ultra now, but this is a Note. Like, I still have the stylus and everything. So, like, whatever they're calling it now, S20 something Ultra, but it's a Note. They just renamed it. Race swapped Jeremy. Kidding. You look terrible always. I mean, I can't disagree with that. Thank you, Soldier On, for the $10. Chris Whiting says, I don't know what the F tax. That's a good tax to send. Miniature Volunteer says, can't believe I'm saying it, but Tim Pool actually made a pretty good video covering what happened to the white feminist tourist who walked alone in India. I mean, Tim Pool makes good content. I mean, I've always said that. So, Trans Girly says, you look gorgeous. Jilly, from one sis to another. What? I started watching you when you had the Yeti mic, Ramtack says. That's old school for sure. You had a filter on back then too. I didn't know what a fucking filter was back then. I didn't know what a fucking filter was. Soldier On says, Argigantin tax. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Simple as that. Some people are not initiated on that one. Ryan Walker says, Jeremy as a trans is hotter than Sydney Sweeney. Not the compliment I was looking for. Toddy says, please talk about Duvall some, a Titan and GOP. No, I mean, I saw people sharing some of their favorite moments from Robert Duvall. A lot of people, just because I've been following the NASCAR stuff, but like, they were sharing clips from Days of Thunder. There's just so many, so many legendary moments from him, man. The list goes on. And 95 years old. I mean, honestly, I'll be happy if I make it to 50. You know what I'm saying? What is it, chat? What is your favorite Robert Duvall movie? When did CobraCast start? That's how long I've been in this vortex. When did CobraCast start? Around the Eliza Blue time with Tim Pool. So the chat's going to know for sure. The chat's going to know. Mr. T says, I've been watching since you got your certain likes and your stream would crash. Now that was crazy. So for those that haven't been watching me this long, back in the day, there was a situation where my streams would crash because I would stream from a phone. My streams would crash when my video got 1,000 likes. Believe it or not, when the video got 1,000 likes from a Android smartphone, it would crash the stream every single time. Also, we then tried to get 1,000 dislikes one time just to see if it would crash the stream. It did not crash the stream. All right. Then I went out and I bought an iPhone. I hate iPhones, but it was Android. It kept crashing on Android because I didn't have a computer set up at this point in time. I think I was like up to like 75,000 subscribers before I got a computer to actually stream on. So I was doing everything from my phone, making all my videos, editing, uploading, live streaming, everything from my phone, up to like 50 or 75,000 subscribers. So anyway, I went out and bought a fucking piece of shit iPhone because the Android kept crashing at 1,000 likes. The iPhone did not crash, and it pissed me off. I was very unhappy when the iPhone did not crash because I'm like, fuck Apple. I hate Apple, but now I have to give them some respect because the iPhone didn't crash. So that I use that as my secondary phone. I'm still angry about it. Yes, I am, Harley. I'm still angry about it because complimenting Apple goes against everything I believe. It goes against everything I believe because I hate Apple. That's okay if you don't. If you like Apple, that's fine. But it was probably a problem with the app rather than the phone. Maybe Tom King. I'm not sure the good Tom King. I know you were around that time too, I think. Chad says it's odd, but let's get the context first. Talking about the Michael Jordan thing. Nas says, as a Clyde the Glide fan in the 90s, it does look like he's pulling on a wet shirt, but still F Jordan. I respect that, Nas. By the way, me reacting to that old video actually feels a little bit like old school Jeremy streaming, like, because I used to do a lot of random shit on Geeks and Gamers with like random videos, random coverage of things. And I kind of feel like because I have so many channels now and I focus specifically on what the channel is built around, I do kind of like, the kind of free balling aspect of like doing whatever the fuck and not being kind of confined to something. So that was actually kind of cool. Debase Wizard says Benny is just like the rest of them. Benny's always been nice to me. Miniature Von Think says the internet is a complete shit show over the Epstein files with grifters trying to cash in. The Michael Jordan BS wouldn't be a thing if not for the context. Chad says my thinking is as big as a start. Jordan was it. Okay, hang on. My thinking is as big as of start Jordan was. If he had anything to do with kids, we would have known about it. What? Thank you, Chad. Zinni Business is for Lent. I'm giving up online spending and politics. Won't be there till Easter. Hail the 199 and God bless. Hey, God bless. Right back at you, Zinni Biscuit. Appreciate you. Darth Gavel says, how much money did the family have to pay the sheriff? I know, right? Mudkip's Game says, old turtle tax. Play Give Him a Ticket episode 2. Burb Shit says, started the week oiling up some what? With some Diddy oil? What? JRG Project says, I'm getting OJ flashbacks. Seriously, we are in a simulation. Shorty Short says, I think you're cute, Tax. No hetero. Well, you're a woman, so that's okay. Harvey looks like he's going in withdrawal. Madney says, boobs. Mudkips says, thief equals break camera cover equals family friend hired. Breadbox says, bro, season finale is going to be lit. Jesse Pinkman character with the burglar and the Mexico Special Forces raid. Flag Ninja says, your channel is under a tax. J Rod says, whatever happened to Jeremy back in tax? I've been catching up on the memes since being stationed back in the States. Yeah, I mean, I was running with that one for a while. I guess we could implement that. I take pride in the fact that I don't have to put, gimmicks out there for people to super chat, because a lot of channels, and I'm not criticizing these channels, by the way, but like, they put the goals out there or whatever. And like, oh, you send me this. And like my YouTube rep was like, have you implemented the goal feature for your super chats? Maybe you can motivate your audience to give you more super chats. And I'm like, have you seen my super chat numbers? I don't fucking have to do that. I'm like, yeah, but it's a great way to interact with your audience. And it's like you're talking to a fucking computer. And I was like, look up the numbers, bro. I know how to get super chats. I don't need your fucking system. They're like, well, but it would help you interact with your audience. Like after the third time, I'm like, you know what? I'll give that a try. And they're like, great. Let us know how the results go. It's how it goes every time. Jeremy, let me show you this feature right here. Now, if you go and you implement super chat goals, it will allow your audience to be more interactive with you, and it allows you to build a relationship with your audience. Have you ever tried this? And I go, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, okay, well, have you ever thought about trying this? Because it will help you. And I'm like, meh. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try that. And they're like, great. Let us know how the results go. And if you need any help, just send us an email. I'm like, what the fuck are we even doing here? Laughing Man says, interact with me. Jared Armstrong says, we find out that the Rhode Island Pew Pew was a trans. That is correct. Sounds like a Microsoft Copilot. It's pretty funny, man. It's pretty funny. The Happy Plague Doctor says, would you say I have a plethora of pinatas? What? Elydium X Game says, did you see Trump's recent gaggle? I saw he had one, but I didn't hear it. Gerald Armstrong says, Milo is accusing Nick Fuentes of inspiring this transformer. I just sit back with popcorn and that whole crowd, and I just hear him out. There's a Three Amigos reference. Got you. Okay. Your Barmy says, cold in that picture. Burbshit says, the jokes write themselves. You have to understand, man, I have been traumatized, okay? I have been traumatized by the internet, all right? I don't know what the fuck you guys... My brain is working on what are you trying to get me to say? My brain is not going, oh, that's a reference from. I don't want to be in this position.
All right. Smelly Negro. I love that name. Which hockey movie chant, I swallow knickers come? No idea.
I don't want to be in that position. Trans Girly says, oh, trust. A lot of your audience is celebrating us daily. Ask to see the underside of their desks. Terry says that facts are inconvenient truths for some people. This is true. Phil says, my new theory, Big Mike is actually an alien. That's believable, actually. It's actually very believable. Rose said, no, I don't. He was saying no idea. If you listen to it again, he says no idea because he didn't know how to respond. So he says he was saying no idea. It gets cut off, though. Listen one more time. He ends it with no idea.
All right. Smelly Negro. I love that name. Which hockey movie chant, I swallow knickers come? No idea.
He said, I love that name. Saying I love that name is... It's 100% like he knows that he knows. And he's just trying to move past it. And honestly, man, as many problems I have with John Campea, I sympathize with him in that moment. He knows he fucked up. And he's just trying to move past it. It's so good. Gerald Armstrong says Massey wasn't talking Epstein during Biden. No, he wasn't. Olympia Product says debate little bit Shapiro. We know your Mossad connections can set it up. Doug Diggs says F Angry Joe and woke Pat Trash Dims. Gerald Armstrong says, is it the quartering? What are you talking about? Oh, the other YouTuber? No. Polish Prince says, happy President Trump Day. Taker says, Rhode Island person, Diamond Dallas Page. Harley Davis says, super chats are a scam. BMCCB says, D-Day jumping on the Joe Rogan bandwagon tax. Beckinator places, Jeremy's channel is under a tax. Cellular Dream says, coming at you with another video. And today, Grandis Potato says, super dad tax. I used to have that up, but then I just, again, that was the process of me stopping talking about my family because people would use that shit. So I just was like, you know what? The internet doesn't care about they don't care about anybody's personal life. Leave that shit alone. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. You're not here. This isn't like a fucking office job where you put like #1 dad. Oh, look here, So I just was like, you know what? Let's not talk about that anymore. Mr. Bentham says, I'm not here to be easy on the eyes for you. Chat turns on beauty filter. Alex Eric says, I remember when you made this video. Alex has been around for a long time. Tiger King Rex Carter says, I despise Star Wars since 94. It's always sucked. No, I disagree. Crazy Clown Town says, internet respecter tax. Let's see. Got becomes a new member. Thank you. Luis says, meet me IRL. Isaac says that R2D2 Xbox 360 goes hard. Yes. Yes. Techno Viking Vance has just posted that meme for you on X. So I got to keep up with the community, the Snake Pit community and the Reddit. So let me go see what you guys are posting over there real quick. Oh, God. Come at me. I'm a man. I'm 40. It's one of the great memes right there. Objectively, a cat says, Jeremy exists to be easy on the eyes for you, chat. Gold Standard says, if President Trump is so great, why did he nominate Noam and Bondi? I mean, I guess because, shocking to you, President Trump is not perfect. I know his haters think he's perfect, but he's not. By the way, I don't think Noam's been bad at all. I think Bondi's been terrible. But also, Gold Standard, if you want to be almost said something bad. If you want an actual answer, why wouldn't you ask the question of why wouldn't they approve President Trump's first appointee for Attorney General? Why don't you ask that question, you piece of shit? Why don't you ask why they rejected President Trump's first pick for Attorney General, you dumb fuck? Oh, you don't want to ask that question, do you? Because you're such a retard. Deshaun 2 says, I love how you said merchandise in your video. Fancy Jeremy. Gold Standard says, Jeremy, come on, call out Trump for being wrong about Bondi and Noam. Again, Gold Standard, you're a fucking retard. Grannis Potato says, CobraCast started in the year 199 IDOT. NA says, RIP my brother Francisco this Saturday. Thanks for the vids. Say what now? Well, sorry to hear that, man. I'm not sure the reference though. JDT says, I want. You think, but come on, man. That's an old one right there. I'm not saying that shit for fucking $5. Come on. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with a get the membership. Relentless Hatem says, I didn't like Jeremy. He didn't change, and I'm 5 months in. Hey, thank you. Harley Dave says, dumb fuck tax. That's a good tax, by the way. Dan Vicious says, young Neil McCoy, and he says, I stopped studying the occult of my 20s because it leads it to degenerate sex stuff and eating babies. We're all caught up. Gates would have been burning the house down. Yeah, I know, man. Like, I don't know why these idiots don't ask the questions of like, why didn't we get Matt Gaetz? Why didn't they approve Matt Gaetz? I think we'll stretch this out to 3 hours. So we're going to bullshit for about 9 more minutes. Let's get this in. Let's get 3 hours in. Do you regret CobraCast subreddit yet? No. I'm loving the subreddit. I need mods over there. Honestly, I'm probably just going to, oh shit, I just approved a meme I shouldn't have, but oh well. I'm probably going to have to add some mods, and it's just going to have to be active people over there. That's essentially what I'm going to have to do. So, I know a couple of you already reached out. So I know, are you approving people over there, Lady Aaron D? Because you're literally the only mod. Are you the one approving people? I don't know who the fuck's approving people. It's a shit show over there. No, I know you're not there, Jess. I know. I don't know if Lady Aaron D's here or not, but she's the only mod we have over there. Actually, and we've got, I saw this with the Reddit. Let me see if it shows it. Right there. Look at this. Oh God, look at this fucking meme. 948 visitors and 435 contributors. That's pretty fucking good for a subreddit we just started. That's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And of course, we have the Snake Pit group here on Twitter. We got over 400 members over there. So wherever you want, and I encourage you to all post, live streams and all of that in there, videos, articles to the website. And of course, we have some very, very strict rules in this group right here. There's our rules right there. So I'm going to need you guys to follow them. Essentially, what this means is don't be an idiot, okay? Be an IDOT. Don't be an idiot. Be an IDOT. Essentially, don't break TOS. All right, that's it. Like, and if I have to tell you that, like, if I have to go into detail about what not to do, then don't fucking join. Like, I'm not here to fucking babysit. So, like, I hate when people have like these rules, like, guys, don't be we can bring my word into be an internet respecter. Don't talk about women. Don't be mean to black people. Okay? No political opinions. And I'm like, I hate the patronizing bullshit. Like, just, you already know. And if you don't know, then go fuck off. You know? What you doing here? So, I think it's a pretty simple term. Whiskey Tango says, found it. CobraCast IRL number 1. We read super chats. Is that the title of my first CobraCast? No, it's not. That's the title of my first CobraCast. Hang on. Hang on. That's such a dickhead thing to say. Hang on. All right. Copy and paste. All right. Copy. CobraCast the IRL number 1. Holy shit. There it is. CobraCast the IRL number 1. We read super chats. Right-wing media is dying. Oh no. Let's see here. Of CobraCast IRL. I am your host, D-Day Cobra. I've lost weight since then. I was getting a little fat. This was in the Orlando Content House. I was a little chubby by my standards. So, and gamers, hope everybody's doing good tonight. I told you on Friday Night Tights I was thinking about doing this, and fuck it. Let's have a little fun. Let's meme and let's laugh because hey man, it's been a crazy week, but I figured why not? Why not have a little fun with all of this? I saw someone in the chat. What did they say right here? Let me find it right here. Man, Jeremy is milking this till he can't anymore, huh? This isn't even an issue anymore. You're damn right. You're damn right. I'm going to milk it. Why not? I have been so like low key in the past year about content, and I am having a blast with all of this Tim Pool stuff. So yes, I am eating it up and having so much fun with it. And why not? I mean, Tim put his chat on members only tonight, which is a 100% mainstream move by him, by the way. He also drummed up all this attention because he says he's going to retire. He's going to retire, knowing exactly what he's doing. So, yeah, why wouldn't I do that? Anthony Gaming, John Cena is going to be in a new comedy movie, but going to be woke. He is in a skirt and sent the article on Twitter. And I messaged you, are you going to talk about the movies getting shot in Melbourne? Yeah, we showed that shot on Friday Night Tights. And all right, let's get this. Let's get super cringe. Oh, Flash came on. I forgot. That's right. Flash and Umbrella Guy, right? That's Twitter, right. Elon Musk and Flash and Tug were on. People. I forgot about that. And so I just seen her. Holy shit! Had no opinion of her. I just saw her around. You know what I mean? Flash and Tug. She was on Timcast about like a month and a half ago, and she's been talking about the Andrew Tate.
So yeah, we need.
Okay. The sequels just happened. Yes, because they destroy us. So I can only imagine what. That's awesome.
That kind of I remember.
These people anymore. It's time for us to show.
Look at that. Look at that. That's why I did it. I was sitting there and I was like, I honestly, I did question. I was like, do I need to do this CobraCast IRL troll or not?
Yes.
And I was like, Jay, I'm going to credit you for this. And I'm not, no bullshit what I'm about to say to you. No bullshit. Like Jay has been like nudging me for like the past year or two. And he's like, man, Jeremy, man, you used to just roast people, man. It's like, I miss that. I miss that. And he's right. I stopped. I backed off. And it's not that I backed off. I got so busy, but I'm bringing
to Ryan too much. That's
bringing 2019 Jeremy. 2019 Jeremy's coming back. Okay. It's here. So, and that if it succeeds, credit me, but if it fails, credit Jay.
All right, all right.
No. But no, seriously, I'm getting confused which chat I'm supposed to fucking read right now. So, this is funny as hell. But yeah, I didn't realize that I was so fat when I started CobraCast. And so to be clear, fat for me is probably 200 pounds. So I'm like 6'1", so 200 pounds. That's probably the heaviest I've ever been. I'm about $185 now. So, yeah, Hayden Wayne for 50. Oh wait, that's the wrong stream. I got excited. Damn, I got excited. I saw 100. I saw $100. Man, CobraCast used to bring in the big bucks. Not anymore. Not anymore. Let's see here. No, I actually saw a I don't know. Anyway, we're not gonna look at that shit anymore. Bring back Fat Jeremy Tax. Emo says, do you like Booker T, sucker? I was a huge Booker T fan back in the day, especially with the Harlem Heat. I thought he was awesome. Him and Stevie Ray were great. Storm Shadow says, oh, I got that one. Olympia Prada says, enjoyed the blast from the past with little Alex. There it is right there. But let's see. The most you can have for a super sticker. Thank you. We're about to hit the 3-hour mark. 3 hours in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to get us to 3 hours, so I really appreciate it. This has been a fun stream. A little more laid back the last half. The first couple of hours, we focused on topics, and then we just kind of laid back and chill. And we may do that more if people are enjoying it, but, you know, it is what it is. No Rubio Act. I know. It's 1 a.m., so we're going to have to try to do that one tomorrow. I had it pulled up. I did have it pulled up, but we're going to have to wait because there it is right there. I had it pulled up. We didn't get to it. So tomorrow we will do the Rubio reaction. So my apologies on that. Make sure you go and follow us on the subreddit and on, Twitter communities, whichever you prefer. And I do appreciate all of you for hanging out and chilling and the blast from the past and all of that. That's super cool. I would love to do more stuff like that. Now, again, we just still want to focus on topics for the first portion of the show, but maybe the last hour we're just bullshitting and hanging out or whatever. So it'll be a lot of fun. But I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a good evening. I'll see you probably. Okay, so my plan tomorrow is I'm certainly doing a CobraCast after main event. I'm going to I can't guarantee one before main event, but I will do one after main event. I'm going to try for one before and after, but certainly after. I'll try to do one before main event as well. So thank you guys. Have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.